If I told you the things I've seen on my ways, if I told you the things I've done in my days, you wouldn't believe me anyway. So it's best I just don't say. I've lived 1,000 lives, I piloted 1,000 souls, I killed and fought and died just for a single role.
Why, hello, and welcome to session, what did I say?
8.
8 of
Exodus
in Mongoose Traveler 2nd Edition. My name is
Stu,
and I am your GM. And to my left,
hi, I'm Kimi, and for this game I'm playing Riley O'Connor. I am a human, and I am like a truther for this, but that's basically a cult leader. So I believe in ancient alien artifacts that have superpowers, and am slowly trying to convince other people.
You have an actual ancient alien artifact. It's not in your head. It's
No.
like it's like a truther would be somebody that's like
you might
it's like,
be a literal truther.
Well, yeah. I mean, because you actually have an alien artifact.
Right.
I mean, a truther would be like, I think there's aliens, and I think I have, I found this piece of junk and it's an artifact. No, you have an actual artifact.
The world is flat.
Yeah, but that's a part of an accepted part of our like culture. Yes, aliens existed long ago, but like the fact that I'm like my artifact has superpowers, maybe not so much true.
Or maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
It has done some weird shit.
I'm Stork. Some weird shit has come to light, man.
New information, man.
I'm Stork. I'm playing Vesa Simola, a human from Terra of Finnish descent, and he's an ex-marine and an he's ex-everything. He's like failed out of 3 different things. If you've been following the game, you can probably remind me what it is.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we played, so I've kind of
been
forgotten
almost a month.
some stuff
Yeah.
there. So.
And Pooja is out having a dart.
Yeah.
So we're trying to remember what happened.
Well, an E-dart.
It's been like a month.
I can tell you what happened.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You were at DSRS Gamma, which is a deep space research station, and this shit hit the fan. That happened the previous session.
All of it.
And all of the shit hit the fan. And then you were able to escape, and on board your ship were 2 security personnel from the station who happened to be like finishing their sweep to make
doing
sure
tech work, yeah.
Right. And then also the Dr. Hutchinson?
Yes.
Dr. Hutchinson. And so from there, the 2 security officers said, you need to go in this direction. They basically gave you coordinates. And you went there and you found an enormous ship of a very strange design.
Big spiky ball.
Big spiky ball, basically, yeah. And it was like bristling with like missile turrets. And they took that ship and basically did a suicide run. And
With antimatter.
With tons of antimatter weapons, and plus there was a large, massive antimatter inside the hull of the ship as well. So, which is basically the only way they know for sure that they can kill this stuff, because since the quantum bots are made of matter, antimatter will at least cancel them out. Then she suggested going. So there was there's 3 other deep space research stations. One of which was active, 2 were in mothballs, and you just kind of, I think you just kind of randomly picked one of them. I think.
I think it was the one that was closest. I think, but maybe not.
You had to jump anyway, and it always takes you a week.
That's true.
So you get there, and there was a strange-looking sort of frigate-class ship there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or stealth ship.
Right,
Yeah.
which had
we eventually
stealth
discovered. Yeah.
technology.
And it was just on mothballs there. There weren't like bodies anywhere.
No.
Like it had been parked and like
full of nitrogen gas
so
to
it would
preserve
just
it.
preserve
Right.
it.
And the whole station was that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you were able to break into the ship because you figured that would be easier than breaking into the station because she told you that the station had a bunch of security stuff. Mm-hmm. So you get into the station or get into the ship, and then you're able to kind of get control of the ship.
Yeah, Joey,
I think that happened first.
Joey hacked in and got captain's commands. Yeah,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, you decided to go ahead and try to secure the station.
Yes,
And you had to get to the computer room, and then you had to shoot out with one of the bots.
only one.
One of the like
and it just about killed
probably
me.
8 on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I didn't know how many there were, but
Well, you wouldn't by now because you got to the security station
Yeah,
after you.
we were-
destroyed
I remember
one
I
of
was in
them.
the hallway doing auto fire at it while Kimi was busy hacking. And
Right.
Kimi, about the time I killed it, Kimi got control of the computers and shut down the bots.
Yeah. So they're all on standby, and we took out the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're able to secure the station, and I think the plan was that she's going to stay at the station and continue doing her research because I think she still has a ton of data to pour over.
Right.
Because when the reason it released the quantum bot inside of the sort of nanotech shell is because they did a certain kind of scan on it that it could detect, and it basically went.
Well, we don't know because it wasn't just the ones they were scanning, right? Wasn't it all the quantum bots everywhere? Or was it,
Yes, they all went at once.
But
I
it
think
was like a signal. It was like, oh, this scan, now it's
Yeah.
like it sent out a self-destruct signal to all of them.
that, yes,
And it was-
I believe she told you guys.
and it was the human-made stuff that opened up that released the alien
because it was
alien
basically
quantum
containing the quantum bots.
bots.
Okay.
So, and then, so she's going to stay. You had a couple of problems, one of which is you don't have any way to communicate with her.
Right.
Because obviously no express boats, that's the communication network between systems.
Right.
And you're too far, you're like a couple light years from Seoul.
Right.
So you're too far to be able to communicate with her without
Well,
an X-boat network. And this is obviously not on the X-boat.
and it seemed like our biggest problem was we came to the space station to get research information, and,
Oh,
and then got blown up before we could get any information. And now we really don't have anything else to do or any place to go until we get our information, right?
But we have a shiny new stealth
We
ship.
do.
Yeah.
We do.
Well, and we don't have any more info about like the bots specifically or how to take them out, which is what she's kind of going to look at. But we
Right.
do have some leads about, we know where some of the technology has come from, which is that big corporation on Terra. And also the same one that was doing the experiments back on, isn't it the same company that was doing the experiments on,
ZNT.
yeah.
That's a different company.
And I
is
have
that?
some recollection.
Oh, but it's Euro Robotics.
Yeah,
Robotics.
Yeah.
Eurobotics?
Eurobotics.
And I have some recollection of her saying she's not sure that these nanobots came from that burned out planet.
Elder
Right.
Star Alpha.
Yeah.
She says, I don't know if these came from Elder Star Alpha. Didn't she mentioned, I have a recollection of that happening.
Yeah.
Which seemed
That
odd to
happened.
me because...
Well, she said she said they could have, but she wasn't sure because they might have come from another source, which is another thing that we could go
Right.
look into because there was the
I will tell you
The-
here in a second.
yeah. Well, the alien guy who'd written the articles
Yes.
about other technology was another person we might be able to go look into. So we had like 3 different path options, and we just hadn't decided to be helpful for Stu so that he wouldn't be able to plan it anyway. That was really our gift.
Well, and again, we also need to figure out, I mean,
Okay, she told
Okay.
you that there was a guy who worked on the station briefly named Cable Mbisi. And he was sort of like a technologist. Like he studies the advancement of technology. That's kind of his field. And I think she said that he had worked, they had found, somewhere in Ustas space, they found a derelict alien spacecraft.
And
he
he
had
was
been
stationed on
and he had been stationed there because he's one of the few people who has this sort of background to be able to deal with stuff that's very advanced compared to what modern technology is. I have some stuff in here that she may have said. It would take us, by his estimates, a dozen millennia or more to reach that level of technology, assuming we didn't destroy ourselves first.
Which seems more and more likely as more rogue nanobots get released into the ether.
Yes.
Just saying.
And that's just one
sorry,
branch of
quantum
technology. And she said the humans finding this technology was sort of like a toddler finding a revolver, and he said, well, it's more like a lemur finding a cobalt bomb.
And now all I can think of is Baby Groot and the bomb.
And
Yeah.
yeet.
I was watching the latest Alien movie, Alien Resurrection. I don't know the one that Ridley Scott did. That's supposed to tie.
Prometheus?
What a terrible.
Was it
yeah,
Prometheus?
no, but it's the sequel to Prometheus. But he brings his alien in, and what a terrible movie. But it has a very similar kind of thing where people just get wiped out.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
It's awful.
Is Idris Elba in that one?
It was Ridley Scott. He may not have directed it, but it's definitely got his fingerprints all over it, which is all sort of style over substance.
I think this is seeming familiar. That she may have mentioned that she doesn't think it was a government, but a non-governmental actor, because this is real. This is the kind of thing that would immediately spark a war.
Because there are so many treaties against using nanotechnology. Yeah.
And there's already been a couple of disasters on Earth using nanotechnology. Part of Tokyo was destroyed, and there was one other one. I think it was Mars. There was one other one where it wiped out a big part of a colony. So there is some. So besides Elder Star Alpha, there is at least one other place that you know of that has some sort of advanced alien technology.
Right. Okay, and then we also had the Wolf that we could go to, whose name I forgot.
Winston Wolf.
Winston Wolf.
Winston Wolf. Okay, it was the Wolf.
Yes.
All right, and
I believe his name was Winston Wolf.
He is the
then there was our handler.
project director of field operations, Winston Wolf. And our field supervisor, Adrian Burton, is exactly as the name suggests.
Yeah, Winston Wolf.
Yeah.
Now, Terry, you got my notes.
I only have two things written down. One of them is Adrian Burton, the other one's Winston Wolf.
I actually have two of them.
Oh, yeah.
Two
Wolves.
entries
for him. One of them has a middle name, Dormer.
Oh, that's not fair. It has to be a W name. You can't be Winston Dormer Wolf. Winston Wesley Wolf or something.
Winston White Wolf.
Winston White Wolf.
I mean, I feel like that's maybe stealing a little bit of Chief Crow's thunder.
A little.
There aren't that many first names that start. Wilbur. Winston Wilbur Wolf. No, he wouldn't have a middle name, Wilbur.
Winston
Wallace?
Winston Wallace Wolf.
Yeah. That ties in
And
with
it ties
with
back.
Wallace Marcellus.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the layers upon layers. That's what we're really here for.
Because in the backstory, one of them is actually the secret father of the other one.
Right?
That's how he got the middle name. All right. So you're still at the station.
Yeah.
You're now what? Just
How long does the doctor need to go through the stuff that's on this station?
She said it would take the research. She's got a ton of data that she's got to collate, and she's thinking it's probably going to be months before she can develop anything.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Need several months. Okay. To go through the data. Okay, so we have a stealth ship. We have we have Pena, who all signs point to Pena being a really bad guy who is releasing quantum and nanobot technology for his own devices.
He was there at that event, and he had direct contact that you were able to.
And he is the chair, he's on ZNT. He's on the board of directors of Eurobotics.
Yes.
So I feel like there are a lot of connections here. It feels like at the very least he is our most viable suspect.
He has motive. He has opportunity.
Our only suspect. However, it's not like we can just go marching back to Terra and be like, "Excuse me, Mr. Pena." So
it also remind me again why we came out here. Was to get more info on the nanobots, or to get them off of Terra, or both? We went originally to the original station.
The original station, it was to deal with the quantum bots.
Okay.
And then once they were loose in that station, we had to evacuate because they were blowing it up. And the only other place with any kind of information that might help us was this station that is defunct.
This is the only place she would be able to study them and give us more information.
And then...
but she's been studying them for a while. She's like, oh, you guys have some too. Oh, yeah, look at that.
She has, but, like, this is the only place where, like, the new information that she that she has, and, like, based on the new information, too, about, like, the nanobot portion of the quantum bot being weaponized.
Right.
Like, she might be able to get some amalgamation of that. But also, there's this ship.
Yeah.
But in terms of, like, any kind of connection to Terra, I feel like our only choice is to go to the Wolf.
Right. Or if nothing else, we need to get outside or get to a place where we can make contact.
Yeah. And I feel like the stealth ship is the best way to do that.
Right. I mean, but if we fly to Earth, we can be stealthy about it and everything, but eventually we actually have to land and then go and talk and stuff. So, I mean, maybe, is there a way maybe to set up a meeting that's off planet?
Does our new ship have a boat? Like a little transport?
Yeah, it's got some kind of launch, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we can stick our old ship inside the new ship, right? Am I wrong about that?
I asked about
I think
that.
the ship is too big.
I think, didn't we decide we were going to leave it for her?
Oh, yeah.
Because, in case...
I mean, but who doesn't want to be stranded without transport on
and we
derelict
are
space
planning on
station?
coming back because it is sort of a good home base, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like we're just... Oh, and I was going to check to see if there was any combat armor in the new ship.
So they have better armor?
They have power armor, yeah.
Give me a second. I'll look that up.
That was in the ship stores.
Figure out what
else
you're gonna-
because we never fully explored the ship. So.
While I'm looking it up, figure out where you're going to go.
Yeah.
Or what you're going to do.
All right. What are we going to do?
I think just, like, rolling up to Terra in our brand new stolen ship is not a great idea.
Terrible idea. Terrible idea.
No, but if we get close enough, we can send a message to the Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
and
better idea.
arrange for an off-site meeting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea. Well, it's a better idea than rolling up on our stolen ship.
Or I can do a dead drop to my contact, my other contact, and do a, and have her try to get in touch with the Wolf so we have, like, kind of a layer, an additional layer of protection, but there's no guarantee that she'd be able to actually get in touch with him.
Right.
Dr. Ramachandra.
I feel like we should
Or,
have as few middlemen as possible.
or, just saying that I have 2 contacts that have not been assigned yet. Mm-hmm. Can I have another contact on Terra that I might be able to, or close to Terra?
That makes sense.
Sure.
That I could say that has maybe more of a line into Exodus?
If you want to make it safer, you could say on one of the, the gas giants or ice giants, maybe on a moon or something.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then, like, somebody who maybe, let's say it's the person who got me in touch with Exodus in the first place and led me into this position.
Okay.
Okay.
So they have contacts with an Exodus and would be able to, that would be a more secure line to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And that's within radio. I mean, it takes a long time. There's a delay, but that's within radio distance, too.
Great.
Yeah.
I still have an
Does
ally.
chat want to come up with a name? Do we have chat today?
Sure. Chat, come up with a name for Pooja's contact who hooked her up with Exodus in the first place.
Do they work at Exodus? They must work at Exodus.
Yeah, they can be. They work at Exodus. That's fine.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that for getting in touch with the wolf, which means we can kind of stay a little bit away. But we probably don't want to go too far because we'll be, like, way out of
We won't
contact.
be able to, we need to be in communication range of the moon.
Yeah, so while we're...
Can it be Io? Is the moon?
Sure.
They're on Io? Just because that's the only moon
Io's
I can
around
think of. Jupiter.
Jupiter, okay.
Stacy Holbrook. Thanks, Master
EY
Bitter.
or just Y?
Just Y.
Holbrook. Thank you. It's whoever came up with that.
That was Master Bitter. I think we should like definitely stick around, but I also think we should pursue multiple things at the same time. I think trying to track down the name that I already forgot of the guy who found that other ship and seeing if we can track down more information on him. I know I did a roll last time to see if I was familiar with him. I was familiar with some of his articles, but not with him personally. Seeing if we could track him down, because I think he would probably be our best bet for finding more information about the actual nanobots and their functions and maybe how to shut them down.
Tracking down who?
The guy who the doctor told us about, who knew...
Cable
Dr.
BC.
Cable in
Cable
BC.
in BC. I'm going to write that down. Oh, I did.
Okay, so I made Stacey...
Tell me.
I made Stacey Holbrook Subdirector of Outer Planet Relations.
Sub-director. Planet Relations.
The SD of the OPR.
Right.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Great, so I'm gonna, so we're still at the station for now.
Yes.
But when we get within shouting distance of Io, then
Yeah, you can
I'll
jump
send
into
a
the outer
message.
system.
We kind of got to hang out there anyway, because we need to send messages and receive messages, and we don't have internet where we are. So if you want to do research on these people, we need to be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're basically where I was this morning.
Yeah.
It's like my phone kept going, service, no service, service, no
So-
service, service, no service.
So we could just hang out, like, not in the space lanes or anything, but we can hang out in our stealth ship and acquire info while we're waiting for the wolf to respond.
Sounds good.
Is that safe to do from our ship? Like, can people track that messages are going to this blank spot next to the moon?
There's a lot of that's my Ring doorbell going off.
Oh.
I was like, that's really
I was
loud.
like, that's a brilliant idea. Look at that.
And the heavens open.
The heavens open. The
Yeah.
best idea ever.
I mean, you could jump to the outer part of the solar system, like Neptune or farther, that sort of range, and the lag isn't too bad. It's probably like 5 or 10 minute lag.
Oh, okay, cool. So we don't have
So
to be right there.
not like where you are right now. Radio communications would take 2 years to get there. And 2
Yeah,
years to get
You
back.
said we were in the Oort cloud, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
very distant part of the Oort cloud.
Yeah. But we don't have to be, like, right next to her. We don't have to be at the moon.
No.
Okay.
No, and I mean, there's radio waves everywhere. If you're encrypted,
Yeah.
Now, if you're trying to like not let people know, well, actually, you know what? Fuck that. You don't know.
Okay.
None of you have ever used a stealth package on a starship. You don't know how it's going to work.
That's true.
I mean, I would hope that, like, even when we're in the distant, like, reaches of Sol. So there's a lot of radio traffic and there's a lot of,
Yes.
like, other noise going on, and someone would have to be really looking hard
Yes.
to notice that, like, one package out of 100,000 packages is going somewhere where they can't see anything on the other end.
Well, basically, there would just be a signal with no corresponding ship there.
Yes. But once again, it's like one package out of 100,000 packages.
Yes. Or
I mean, more.
probably way more than that.
Or even
Sure.
parts of a package.
Like, my post office loses more packages than this on a daily basis. So, I feel like it's a risk we have to take because we don't have a choice.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But I would also like to be somewhere where you can do some more research and try to track down Dr. Mbisi.
Yeah.
There are in the ship. Stork, you want to write this down?
Yes, I do.
There are 3 tech level 12 combat armor suits.
Fancy.
Is there power armor or combat?
Combat armor, not powered. There are 4 tech level 11 hostile environment vac suits. I can give you the stats. Well, there's really only one stat you want to know. The combat armor, which what I said, there are 3 of them.
Yeah.
That's the protection. The DR is 17.
Whoa.
And then the tech level 11 hostile environment suits. There, what I said, there are 5 of those.
You said 4.
4. Okay.
T11.
Okay. They are DR12. And then you have one experimental battle dress set. That's the powered armor. And that has a protection of 22.
That's the one I want.
It's the one you need, considering.
It's the one I need, because, I mean, that one little robot just about took me out.
Right. And you can see on it, it's got like, it's got like sensors and stuff on it, like that you may have seen for like troubleshooting experimental equipment that you wouldn't put on a finished product. So this is like a prototype.
You can have the prototype.
Is there any data on it already, or has this thing ever been used?
It looks pretty brand new. I mean, it certainly has not seen combat. It doesn't look like it's got a lot of wear on it. I mean, you don't see little bits of packing peanuts on it, so it's not brand new probably. Or if it is, they cleaned it up.
Well, then I'm going to spend our 2-week jump or whatever it is once we get into
1 week
radio space, 1 week space, working on this thing, using my vac suit skill and mechanical skill and checking the computers nearby to see if there's any instructions or.
This is all in the armory.
Okay.
And we'll assume that Joey, his magical handprint, can pretty much open any door in the ship right now. So there are tech manuals for all this stuff in there.
Cool. I'm going to read them.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You're reading manuals?
Yeah.
I never thought this day would come, and I'm so proud of you.
I got nothing else to do. When I'm done with that, I'm actually going to get some spray paint. I'm going to spray paint Hawaiian prints all over it.
Right.
Looks like a big Hawaiian shirt.
And there is the Vesa. We all know.
And you've probably seen Iron Man 2, and you know what happens if you don't know how to use powered armor.
Right. Right. Now, it's up to you, but I don't know if there's... I think if you know vac suit, you know how to use power armor, but I'll double check that again.
You need the vac suit skill for power armor. You needed it
You need it too, yeah.
You needed it too.
I would like to hook up my neurocom to the ship.
Okay.
That's Stork
This
staring at his
versus
character
my
sheet.
own.
Doesn't mean looking at it for my character, my vac suit of
Not
one.
2, yeah.
Okay. Who's going to make the jump? You're going to make the jump, the astrogation?
I mean, I don't think I have a choice.
Okay.
I
So
think I'm the
I'm
only one
going to
with
start
any
studying
kind
vac
of-
suit. I can learn.
I think I'm the
vac suit.
only one with any kind of pilot, unless we want to like roll for Joey.
Well, it's astrogation. The astrogation skill is what you
I
need right
do
now.
not have astrogation.
I have it at 1.
There we go. Because he and Joey did the astrogation part, and I did the piloting part.
Got it. Okay.
I have navigation. That helps.
Plotting a standard jump. You need a 4 or higher, and the DM is minus the jump distance. It's jump 1, so you need a 5.
It's 8.
Okay. All right. So you have a week to do whatever you're going to be studying the tech manuals.
I'm going to be
basically.
studying the tech manuals and learning vac suit.
Right. That's how you're studying vac suit.
Right. Now, I have a vac suit of 1. How long is it going to take me to get to vac suit 2?
More than a week.
Yeah.
A lot more than a week.
I'll probably put you at anything you're going to be doing will probably be at like a -1.
Didn't Joy add it up and it was like...
It's
I think
320 hours for level 0, and then you add 320 hours per level after level 1. So it's like 640 hours.
Plus...
If it's 40 hours a week, we said it would be, right?
8 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be 8 weeks. So that's 1 week down. All right. To get to that, okay.
Yes. Is anyone studying the stealth system?
Yes, please.
Okay. You have like sensors or comms or something like that?
I have
Kimi does.
Electronics comms at 2.
Okay.
Nice.
That's good.
Does anyone have... Well,
There isn't a sensor.
I have sensors.
Oh, is there
Yeah.
sensors? Where is
Electronics.
Ooh, that's
That's probably closer. Either of you could probably swing it because neither of you... It would probably be its own specialty, I would imagine. But there are tech manuals and stuff like that for the stealth suite as well, so you can be studying that during the time. And the one thing that you discovered while studying that is that once the stealth suite is working, radio transmissions will not leave the bubble that it creates.
Oh.
So you have to turn it off in order to get
no electromagnetic radiation can pass through in either direction. So you are blind while it's on, and no one can see you.
That's the Romulans too. They have the same thing, right? They have to drop their shields in order to.
They have to drop the.
Wrong.
Yes,
All the trekkers are going to be furiously emailing
think so.
now. Actually, yeah.
it depends. I think that was how it worked in Starfleet Battles, the game. I don't know if that's how it worked on the series because that keeps changing.
Well, I mean, the series does span like generations, so it makes
Yes.
sense that their technology would have evolved.
That's true. Originally, they didn't even have warp drive.
I have a great idea for a Star Trek game, or actually it was a Star Trek series, where it was just sort of a rogue group of Romulans and Klingons. It was going to have Julie Strain as the captain, and they were going to 6 foot tall actress, B-movie actress, and 6'2" actually, and yeah, it was all going to be about the Klingons and Romulans at war with each other, and these guys are stuck in the middle as a whole. Anyway,
Okay.
did some research on Romulan ships for a little while. Pooja's staring at me incredulously.
So it's
such a nerd. You're judging.
Literally everyone at work knows how nerdy I am.
Okay.
so, but the stealth system does have some limitations. Like if you are under maneuver drives, you can only accelerate at a certain speed before it's going to start releasing it or emitting a signature that is going to be detectable. Because basically, what it's doing is it's absorbing electromagnetic radiation. Because the field exists, it goes both ways.
I got it.
So, like, you can probably do like half G acceleration, but any more than that's going to overwhelm the system because it has to turn. It's turning that EM into energy to power the system itself, but at some point it's going to start overloading things.
So you can't even get passive. It just completely blocks electromagnetics in and out. So
Yes.
so you can only go.
No, there's other parts of like the ship. The skin of the ship is like radar absorbent and things like that. But all that stuff that's existed for a long time that a lot of military vessels would have. The big thing is this sort of field generator.
The field generator that you can use for a limited amount of time, like how long?
Indefinitely, if you aren't
Concerned about the heat wave kind of
well,
effect?
at some point, it's not going to be able to continue to conceal or contain the heat that it's absorbing, because basically it's at a certain point it's going to start. You're going to overwhelm that system, and there's going to be a heat signature.
I'm also wondering if the transponder is programmable. I wonder if we can spoof other ship IDs
yes, it
if
is.
we wanted to. So we could actually then spoof our original ship ID if we wanted to.
Yes.
So that, well, we could, and
could.
then just turn it off and we'd be gone, or change it to something else.
Yes. Well, as soon as you turn on the stealth package, your transponder would be
Right.
blocked.
Yes, but in the meantime, if we just use our old signature, then people are going to be like, "Oh, look, it's that broken down dump
Right.
Voyager or whatever we called our ship." The Voyager was not a broken down dump.
But that's exactly what was my thought too. That way, at least any friendly traffic, or we could at least get within close range, because we still have a lethal transponder. And then if things go sideways, we turn it off or reprogram it to something else, and whoop, we're gone.
Right. The Vanguard was named.
Then,
It's like a van. It's like a '70s van that we repurposed.
It's the
a
mystery machine.
Vanguard.
It's
It's the
okay.
mystery machine. It's a van.
It's got a little body damage. Not much. Superficial.
So do I. Got shot at for a long time.
Right.
So
So
I mean,
anyone-
we either use that or we can spoof a different ship entirely if we want to conceal our presence. But mainly, I guess the big thing that we want to do is conceal the fact that we yoinked this prototype ship. So if we spoof the Vanguard, it seems like an adequate.
And unless they get within visual contact, they're just going to assume we're the Vanguard.
Exactly.
Right? And then, which is pretty hard to do. It's once you get visually.
Unless
you're
you're like very like in orbit.
Yeah.
Even if you're in orbit, the visual.
what they're going to do is call up the transponder. It's going to say, and this is this class ship. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like
You don't want to dock at a
no.
orbital station or anything.
Right. They'll go, wait a
That
minute.
seems.
I feel like when we at least first get close, I feel like being a third party would be best, because we also don't know. Like, we know the Navy was not super, like, knew we were involved on the planet with the apes. and all that's, I don't know, it just seems like there's lots of things.
It's not a broke. Yes, sorry, Kimi.
It's okay.
You did it. You blew it up. Get your stinking paws off me.
Sorry.
I said with. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's enough red flags that might, like, we don't have to stay that way when we send the messages and stuff, but it might be good to be like, hey, just be somebody else while we're here and just see what's up.
I agree with that as well.
We have options, is all I'm saying.
I mean, we could. It seems to me the safer course of action to spoof a third-party ship.
I don't mind going as ourselves at first, just to see what comes after us. Perhaps, in a way, people might even be looking for us and want to contact us anyway. And we have the option of turning it or going third party if we need to, or even just disappearing altogether. I think that
the opposite for me is true.
you want to go third party and then let them know that we're here?
Yes.
Yeah, whatever. You're the captain.
Not the captain.
Technically, Joey's the captain.
Joey's
right?
technically, yeah.
At least his handprint is.
Only according to the doors.
Yes.
Let's be very clear.
But it does seem like
Could
if
also
we,
just
we
chop
can
his hand
always
off.
go in. We can always tell them who we actually are later.
Yes.
But once that cat is out of the bag,
Let's-
and like if the USS Navy comes,
We have
if the
options.
USS Navy comes for us,
Yeah.
Sorry I brought this up. We have many options that we can use.
Yeah.
let's
Let's-
go third party for now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you have a week to figure out what it is.
And we also should look at our weapon system and see what we have, just in case they are looking for us and a ship comes after us. We know what to do.
That's true.
What weaponry does this ship have? Do you have a copy of the of a ship layout that we can
It's
have?
essentially the type.
Corvette class?
It is a patrol. I think it's called a patrol corvette.
Little patrol Corvette. Okay, now we got to pay him. Thank you, Pooja. It was a courtesy laugh. I'll take it. Patrol Corvette. Here it is on page 174. Looks like that.
It has
3 decks.
Vaguely
it,
phallic.
it has a jump 3 drive. I think the one in there is jump. Is it jump 4?
I don't know. M drive thrust 4.
right under-
J drive jump 3.
Okay, so yeah, it's basically that. And you have 2 triple turret pulse lasers and 2 triple turret missile racks.
Just right
It
there,
has a
page
ship's
174.
boat, and it also has a grav carrier,
What
which
kind
is
of
sort of like a military air raft, but it's enclosed and pressurized.
What kind of weapons does it have? Sorry.
It's got 2 triple turrets,
2 pulse lasers.
pulse lasers, 2 triple turrets, missile racks.
So that's not artillery?
Systems, yes. we've got artillery and lasers. We've
Well,
got
that's. I don't know if the artillery skill is what you use for that.
That's
it
what
it
I'm
might be
asking.
gunnery. Is there a gunnery skill?
yes.
I have
There is a
heavy.
gunner skill.
Oh, there is.
If there's a gunnery skill, it's probably that.
Yes.
Can
We'll look
you
that up in a
use,
minute.
Like gun combat energy to work the lasers?
You could
Think
try.
you-
You'll be at a
think you-
negative. You wouldn't be at unskilled. You're at a -3. I'd say if you have something that's kind of close, it'd be -2.
So it says docking space is 30 tons. So it's got a 30. Oh, that's cargo space, I guess. Ship's boat. Docking space 8 tons. Maybe that's for the ship's boat.
Yeah, docking space 8 tons. That's for the G carrier.
What's a G carrier?
It's like an enclosed air raft.
Ah.
It uses anti-gravity.
Oh, and it's got a fuel scoop, so we don't actually have to
Correct.
stop and get refueled. We just swing by gas giants
Yep.
and suck up fuel. Okay.
And you can
nice.
process 80 tons of fuel per day with the processor.
Nice.
So gunner is what I'm putting my week of study into.
Okay, all right.
So we've got 12 standard rooms and 4 low berths,
Yeah, those are like the cryo
right?
sleep chambers.
And we've got 10 common areas, and cargo is 46.
I'm putting mine into Marrakesh.
Okay.
Thus bringing it
Crew,
into
pilot,
flying battle.
astrogator 2, engineer, medic 4, gunners. Okay.
That's for full complement.
But you said we could use electronic sensors for the.
at a -1, I think.
So for the stealth technology, or for the stealth drive, it would need its own skill. So neither.
I would put you guys at like probably -1 to do it. And you're really only going to be making a skill roll if you're pushing, because it's got like, here are the safe parameters when everything is working perfectly. But there's like things that you have to do, like manually reroute power and things like that, to try to find what you're going to do with the energy that's being absorbed. that's probably where it would require a skill roll. So if you're going real slow and you're not, firing lasers at the bubble,
So
you're probably
Gunner
fine.
has four specialities.
Yeah.
Turret, you looked at it already? Okay. Turret.
I was gonna wait and ask which one it
operating
would be.
turret-mounted weapons. Or artillery, which is a contraction of orbital artillery, using a ship's weapons for planetary bombardment. Screen, activating and using a ship's energy weapons like black lung generators or meson screens. And then capital, which is operating a bay or spinal mount weapons on board a ship.
So which
Firing a
one?
spinal
We have
mount.
turrets.
Turrets.
two
These
turrets.
are turrets. Yeah.
Then that's what I would use.
Okay, so both of the weapons on this ship are turrets.
Yes.
Okay.
You have 4 turrets. Each one has a triple weapon on it.
Right. No.
But-
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You have 2 triple pulse laser turrets. So you have 2 turrets with 3 pulse lasers that are all grouped together.
But if I have gunner turrets, I can
Yes.
use all of them. Okay.
Yes.
That's I really care.
Yes.
The specifications. Yeah. I'm like,
You actually
do I
have
have the right skill for it? Okay, that's all I care about.
you actually have 12 things that shoot other things. Total.
Oh, good.
Yes.
No, I got that part, but it's
12
like
shooty
it
things.
being
Yay.
laser weapons versus like
Right. Well, they
Other
would
than
both
the
use the same skill because they're turreted
pew,
weapons.
boom, boom. Like that's a sound effect. That's the only.
I guess for some reason, if you're going to try to shoot a planet, you'd have a different skill. I don't know why that makes sense. Because planets are big. It seems to me to be a lot easier to hit a planet.
It's the difference between being a tail gunner and being a bomber.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I can see that. Except it's the same.
Bombers and space.
They have that whole sight, and you have to do. And meanwhile, the tail gunner's like, "Fuck, he's coming at us!" So
Would work the
I don't
same.
think
So which
lasers.
one of
Gravity.
this is the planet and which one of this is the...
You went to turret.
Turret. Yeah.
I would say turret.
So that's the one I'm
Gunnery
taking.
turret.
Yeah. So that's what I'm
one of
putting
those
my
is
Kimmy's
weakest sitting
Kimmy's
into.
going all in on this. I am not.
Okay. You're thinking long-term languages.
I mean, I'm thinking I'm already halfway there.
Right.
And seeing as
Yeah.
it takes 8 weeks to get one skill level,
Right.
I'm going to finish what I've already put 4
Okay.
weeks into.
All right.
Which may seem ridiculous.
So,
but it is.
anything else? No one's doing anything else during this week in the jump?
nope, we're just getting to know the ship. We're getting to know the systems.
Got it.
I
Okay.
think I'm going to assume that Joey is going to learn how to pilot it.
Does he have piloting?
Somebody
pilots?
did.
You're
You're the
the
pilot.
pilot.
So astrogation, I guess.
Piloting.
I mean, astrogation is y'all. Piloting is...
But astrogation doesn't change.
piloting is piloting is
And
piloting.
astrogation doesn't change. It's not,
No,
even on a
not
stealth
really.
ship, the stars
I mean,
are
really,
the
it's
stars.
just like,
Yeah.
which buttons and which levers?
Yeah.
Right.
Help me, manual. Thank goodness the ship is so brand new, and none of these manuals are yet defaced.
Help me, only new manual. You're my only hope.
All right. So, nothing else. So, you jump into the Sol system somewhere out by like what?
I'm gonna pick a really nice room and decorate it.
Okay.
It's important to the story. I just thought I'd add
Okay.
that in.
Is it like, do you have your own propaganda posters that you put on the wall?
Yeah, definitely. And I have like my little like special stand that I take from the other ship that has my ancient artifact on it.
Okay.
Oh wait. I was gonna leave it for her to look at though. Wait, wasn't I?
It's up to you. You can decide that right now.
We are coming back here. We're only popping out for a little bit.
I know, but if something happens,
True, but
I think
but
I'd
she
keep
may
it
be
with
able
me.
to. She
No.
may be able to unlock the secrets.
I know. But she might also take it
Where is she going to go with it? In our old janky ship.
like anywhere away from me. I don't know. I'm not gonna leave it.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna have her keep looking at it, but yeah.
I want a cake pop. They're talking about what you're eating.
Oops, I ate 2 of them.
Oh,
That's okay because I
does
can't
anyone
eat
else want
any
one?
of
Oh,
them,
yeah.
so
Okay.
so it all works out.
Are you a gluten girl? You
Yes.
can't do the gluten thing? I'm so sorry.
I know it sucks.
I know more and more people that have to deal with that, and it's so awful.
So you guys, and you're out somewhere around Neptune or something. Probably not near Neptune, but that distant. And you can.
Somebody crafts a well-worded message, Joey, to the wolf, Joey, and
to the wolf or the intermediary?
maybe
Intermediate.
both. Do you want to do
Your
both?
contact?
So we have Joey craft the message to the wolf, and I craft the like kind of surrounding message that would go to our intermediary Stacy.
Okay.
Like time critical. This needs to go to the wolf.
So you're going to encrypt within encryption, so that Do you trust Stacy enough to let her read the message to the wolf, or are you going to encrypt that within?
Encrypt it with it.
Okay. All right.
Because, trust but verify.
Right. Okay. And you're basically going to lay everything out that's happened?
Yeah.
I don't think we can afford to be secretive. We actually have nothing else to go on, so we need to give him...
We need his connections and we need his help.
So basically, moment by moment, this is what happened.
Yeah.
And
It's like, make gloss over
if we
some
can't
of
trust
the-
him, who can we trust? We're grasping for straws right now. We really got nobody else.
But make in Joey speak, so it glosses over all the parts that make us look stupid.
I don't know if there's anything in there that actually makes you look stupid. I don't think there is. Are you going to mention the antimatter ship and all that stuff?
Yes, because if he has any, I want to specifically ask if he has any leads on Dr. MBC.
Okay.
Also, if we point out the fact that an antimatter ship had to blow up a government facility, that's another track that he can then use for information, because that's a whole other paper trail that might yield data.
Okay. All right. So you
And he obviously knew about this base, so
yes.
he may already know that it's gone through this thing, that it's been destroyed.
And in the interim, we're just going to hang out.
You're the only ship that jumped away, so they're not going to really know for probably a couple years.
So none of the other lifeboaty type ships made it out?
No.
Oh.
That's when they brought in that giant
Antimatter.
death ball
I
thing,
know that
whatever
it
we
was
called
the
it.
death ball, but
The deathicle.
in my mind, other lifeboats, not all the lifeboats made it, but some of the lifeboats made it. I didn't realize
I do remember there were
none of the lifeboats made it.
But they were all falling apart as they ejected. That's
No,
right.
Well, and they couldn't get out of the range of the deathicle.
That's right.
And they didn't have.
Sorry.
And they didn't have. Those don't have jump drives. They just have maneuver drives. It's basically just to get you
Maneuver?
away, so then you can send out a transponder to have someone.
I
pick
remember
you up.
them going away, and I
More
remember
of
you
a
telling me that a
gesture.
lot of them, you saw them, a lot of them melting
Yes.
away.
Yeah.
Because they just couldn't get away from the nanotech. And then we watched the station start to melt away as we jumped.
Yes.
And then they flew their antimatter bomb in. And
Right.
in fact, we were going to wait at our station. They said in a couple of weeks we'd be able to see the light, which... was it a couple of weeks?
Oh, it was probably more like
was
a
a
year
year.
or so.
Yeah.
And no thank you. I'm good.
It'd
And
be-
now I'm even more sad.
It's very, the crazy loneliness of space. When you start thinking about, no one will see the light from when you died for a year or two. You're like, oh.
Well,
It'd be pi times 2 squared
just...
if you really want to.
This kind of ties
No,
in
that'd
with
be
what you said
also-
earlier, just sort of I mean, there is
think
a
1/4 of that.
There is maybe a possibility that before the antimatter ship went in, it released a data stream or a data pod explaining what it was doing. I mean, just as protocol before it self-destructed. So there's that data that might be headed its way somewhere too, but we don't know.
The point is that one way or another, I believe we should tell the wolf about it.
Yep.
All right.
And that we should explain that we have reason to believe that someone on Earth or someone on Terra might be weaponizing quantum bots in such a way that they would self-destruct when examined,
Okay.
no matter where they are.
Or become incredibly dangerous. Okay.
Not self-destruct, but the controlling parts would self-destruct, thus unleashing quantum doom on everyone.
It may even been on a timer. It might have just been coincidence that they were scanning it at the time. We don't really know. But again, that's something for people better than I. The doctor back there at the base did work out.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, the lag time is almost 4 hours between Neptune and Earth.
Wow.
Okay,
I
so
thought it might be longer, like weeks.
well, it's 4 hours 12 minutes from the Sun to Neptune, and we're 7 or 8 minutes. So it's just shy of 4 hours. All right, so almost a little over 8 hours goes by, or about 8 hours goes by, and you get your response from the wolf. It says, "Message received. Best to speak in person." Suggestions for rendezvous point? Question mark.
You wanted to be on Io?
Although it's probably video because this is.
I mean, it is the future.
Right.
Stop.
Yeah, it's a telegram.
You guys have been playing Call of Cthulhu more than this. When you say tele, though,
Where is my telegram?
it's TELE, telegram, because it's visual.
Right.
It's a
hologram. Anybody have any suggestions on where to meet? Literally, the only places I know about are that planet we first went to, Caliban, and scary defunct station.
Do we have any bases or anything around Jupiter? Is that fairly safe?
There are bases around most of the planets in the solar system at this point, either on moons or. I mean, you're where you are is pretty sparse. There's not a lot of eyes out here.
Okay, totally based on just my
No,
watching.
Now, you guys have not engaged the stealth.
Not yet.
Right? Okay.
Maybe somewhere in the asteroid belt, because there's a lot of places to hide and duck out and stuff if we need to go somewhere. If we suddenly cloak while we're there, like suddenly there's still a bunch of stuff on scanners, it's easier than in the middle of nowhere.
Are there mining colonies there that would notice our coming and going?
There are mining colonies in the belt, but I mean they're sparse. The thing about the asteroid belt is it is really ridiculously spread out.
Yeah.
It's not like rocks right next to each other.
Yeah.
So we're not talking like a New Hope here.
No. I mean, if you're on an asteroid, you probably can't see another asteroid anywhere in there.
Yeah, but as far as like ships travel time and stuff, you could
Maybe, yeah.
The only reason I suggested Jupiter is that it's, first of all, there's gas that we can use to refuel. Second of all, it's a really big planet we can hide behind.
I mean,
But
it's not the
I'm
worst
not
idea
married to
for
this.
us to meet on Io. At a place like, we use Stacy as the intermediary, so she knows about this contact, even if not the content of it, and she should be able to set up a safe meeting.
Well,
She might have access to one of those cone of silence boxes that we had the first time.
That's true.
We don't actually have to land anywhere. I mean, we could just
We
meet
could
in
just take a
space
boat.
and just shuttle back and forth.
Yeah. We definitely should not ever land anywhere.
No, we would definitely just be taking the boat wherever.
Yeah.
So we can meet on the dark side of Jupiter in roughly the same area and then just take a ship's boat to each
Yeah.
other's ship, or he could come over to us.
Or he could take a little shuttle, dock at our fancy new stealth ship. Let's do that.
Okay. Sounds good.
We made a decision.
Woohoo!
Okay,
Finally.
In less than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
all right.
We've
So,
made a couple decisions so far. We're not doing terribly.
I feel like this is a new high for us.
Yeah.
so you get a response about 8 hours later saying that he will be en route within the next couple hours.
Okay.
And it's probably a couple days for him to get there.
And that's fine. We've got refueling to do. And we're still studying, furiously studying.
Thanks.
Did we decide what we wanted to make our transponder as? Is there a list of transponder codes that are pre-installed or pre?
Probably. There might be a few. There's probably some known transponder codes from various other nations. There may not be other Ustas Navy ones.
I'll start doing that.
You always put in a random number.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong with that? You know what we can do?
Oh, we're a Russian dreadnought.
You know what we can do is we can scan. This is what I'm going to do: is suggest somebody who has much better sensors than I do is any ship leaving system. We just clock their transponder code and
there
then
you
we
go.
can input that.
Okay.
That way, a ship that leaves system, we can then just spoof, and it looks like we're still in the system.
Yes.
Or you just start collecting numbers because
Yes.
they
we
get
also,
transmitted.
Exactly. I was about to say, and we start a database and collect numbers for future years.
Made another decision.
Yeah.
Ideas and building on each other, leading to action.
We should write a book.
Okay, so we'll fast forward unless you get any more prep you guys want to do.
No, thank you.
All right, so write down that you have 50 transponder codes.
Okay.
The only reason I bring this up is because I was going to give him the transponder code that he could search for us. Because although we were on the dark side of Jupiter, that's still a big area.
Are you currently using the Vanguard's transponder?
That's how this started.
No.
I think they wanted to use a third party
We're using
before
a third party
Okay,
first.
all right. So some ship that jumped out of system.
Yes, exactly. And then
Got it. Okay. And about 2.5 days later, well, they're using maneuver drives in the system, but they eventually show up.
There's
Yes.
no sound in space.
And it's one of the yacht type Y yacht ships that you guys have.
Yes, I mean, it looks less like a phallic.
You're just hung up on this.
They're kind of like
I mean, look at it.
oh no, that
Human
one.
body's phallic.
No, I'm talking about the yacht. The yacht is more like a.
Yeah.
It's not phallic at all.
It's more like a Zeppelin.
It's like a. No, I would think it's more like a frisbee with two of the sides a little bit cut off.
Could also just be. Yeah, they're
So
all
more like the
sort of
Millennium
custom.
Falcon.
Closer to that, yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm coming at this game a little bit like on the more on the pop culture side of
Got it.
sci-fi. So like I need reference points.
Okay.
No, you're not wrong. They basically call it a yacht. A lot of these things are all basically sizes, so the actual look kind of can vary a lot. So like that's what they say a yacht looks like. Maybe the opposite of phallic.
It looks like a squid if you cut off all the tentacle bits.
Pardon? I was looking at someone. Give them the address. Did you give them the address for the webpage, happyhours.org?
For what?
He was asking if there were recordings of the previous
Sessions. Yes.
sessions.
Oh, do we have a new listener? Hi, new listener.
Or viewer.
Viewer, everything.
Viewer.
I'm sorry. What was your question?
It was not a question. It was just a comparison statement that Stork showed me a picture of the yacht, and it looks less like the Millennium Falcon and more like a squid. But if you cut off like the
tentacles?
dangly bits,
Yeah. Okay. Which actually might look a little phallic. Oh, anyway. All right.
I mean,
Because squids kind of look a little
because
phallic.
there's no ball sack on a squid.
Okay.
Like, not every pencil is phallic, but every cigar is.
All right.
Sorry. We do send him the thing. We do see that he's coming over in his
Yes.
yacht.
Yeah, and he gets a launch rather than dock the two ships. He comes over on a launch.
Which looks like that.
Yeah, it's a
It's not helpful. Or that. No, that's a light fight.
well, a large launch is called a pinnace. I'm not
That
kidding.
wasn't me this time.
I'm not kidding.
So in any case, we meet up with the wolf
Yes.
on our newly acquired vessel.
Better than a junk. It's a legitimate boat name.
I know it is. So is a pinnace.
I wrote a whole song about all the dirty boat names.
Yeah, I know. You know, when,
sorry, I
when you're
broke
standing on the poop deck of your penis, right? You know,
Right.
and you're watching the junk go by.
I'm broken.
All right. I win.
She really is broken.
Yeah.
Should I go to commercial?
Okay.
We're going to get taken to HR because of you.
At least it's not racist.
That's true.
Not yet. We carry on. This could get worse.
No, it will
No.
not go there.
No.
All right.
So, Wolf, meet new ship. Have you heard about this? This? We found it.
Nice find.
And, you know, like the ancient Terra saying goes, finders keepers.
Yes.
Maritime
Sure.
law and all.
Yeah, legitimate salvage.
Yeah, right?
I mean, it was at a defunct space station.
Right. So how is Hutchinson?
Busy,
Okay.
but alive. Mm-hmm. Unlike everyone else on that space station.
Yeah.
That's tough. Did you have any kind of a timeline on when she's going to be able to come up with some kind of
3
solution
to
here?
5 months.
Oof.
It would help if we could get to Dr. MBC.
I did some digging. Dr. Mbisi is... oh boy. Am I even going to be able to find that map? Jesus.
That's
I think I have a
Stu,
copy
not
in
the
here.
wolf talking.
Do I have a... Tell me... Ah, yes, I do have a copy.
You got it. Yeah.
Does anyone still have a copy of that 11 by 17 local space map?
Did you hand those out?
Spaceman.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
thought
you
I-
let us keep them. You took them back.
I don't... If I did, I lost all of them.
That's not shocking.
Damn, that's cold.
I have
I
a
mean-
backup character from when this one
It's
dies.
factual.
I mean,
Oh,
I didn't
here.
say it was untrue.
Yes. They might be in the other room. Let me go look.
Well, I've got it in front of me.
Okay.
I have a PDF of it. But you may need it to figure out what you're going to do. He is... his last known destination was 70 Opyuchi, which you've been to before. That's where the university is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Last known, like, how long ago, though?
Months.
Oh, that's much better than
That's
I
good.
thought you were going to
Yeah.
say. So, MBC last sighted.
70 Opyuchi.
There's another question I have for you.
Not cited, but that was his last stated definite destination.
When we brought this to Dr. Hutchinson, she didn't seem that surprised. In fact, she said something like, "Oh, you found some too," or something to that effect. How long has this stuff been turning up? And where has it been turning up from?
Well, there's some site not either in Ustas space or very adjacent to it. I don't know exactly where that is. My guess is that either it's near 70 Opyuchi or that's another site. I've also heard rumors that the EU has found something. I don't know any details about that.
There's a vessel.
Do you know where?
There's a vessel that
Is it my
MBC. Come on.
Okay, good.
There's a vessel that MBC has been on.
That
that what you mean?
That would be the I'm assuming that would be the one in Ustas space, or near Ustas space. But I don't know where the location of that is. I don't know if this is the same site, same find, or if this is a new find.
Okay.
But yeah, there are rumors. There's an alien site on a planet in RC space. Ooh.
Sorry.
Ross 128.
Ross, ROSS, 128. Okay.
And just FYI, the previous campaign, they went to that. That's been a known quantity for a while. So you guys would probably know that place existed. The Russians basically contained it. They basically poured concrete on top of it and
In case the whole planet?
right, well, not the whole planet, but the section where
Chernobyl it?
where they realized there was a danger there.
The sarcophagus?
Yes.
Oh.
So that's and plus, of course, Elder Star Alpha, which you guys already know about.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to set up then. Okay, that's really good information. And at least gives us a starting point. What we didn't say in our message is that the only person who has that we've currently able to find with means, motive, and opportunity yeah, okay, sorry. For some reason I was like, is means and opportunity the same thing? But whatever. Is
No.
Pena, like, so far that is the person we believe is like our link to these bots? But our information has been limited, being in the outer reaches of space as we have been.
Do you convey to him all the information about the fact that he met with him at the Bon Voyage thing?
And,
okay.
Between the ZNT connection, the robotics connection, it's like, these are the things we know. He's so far our common link, but that doesn't mean he's the only link just the only one that we know about. But before we go hairy, guns blazing.
Right.
Either he or someone in his retinue.
We can start digging into him. And we can, if you stay in the communication lanes, that is settled planets, I can tell you what we find.
Well, it sounds like our next stop is going to be within range of 70
Opeuchi.
Opeuchi.
Okay. What happened to your old ship?
Dr. Hutchinson has it.
Oh, okay.
Do you need it?
No. I'm not the one that signed it out of inventory, though.
That's a good point.
I mean, it's not like we,
It's not gone.
blown it up.
No.
Okay.
But it did seem kind of rude to leave Brianna on the defunct space station without any way of,
Oh, if you want, if you would give me coordinates, and I can make sure that if there's any support she needs, or I can at least establish some sort of line of communication with her.
That would be much appreciated as well. Here are coordinates.
Okay. And that's about all he needs. But he said he will let you know what he finds out about. I can't even find where I wrote the fucker's name down.
NBC?
No.
Or Pena?
Pena. I know I wrote it down somewhere. Let me find it real quick. This is bugging me. Where are my corporations? Corporations. I think he works for Eurobotics. There he is, Arthur Pena. All right. Okay.
Also, just as a personal note, if you could also keep me informed about the which faction has come ahead in the International Society of Xenologists or Association of Xenobiologists.
You found it.
Oh, you don't want to get involved in that mess.
No, but it has been the most exciting thing to happen to us that hasn't actually threatened our lives. So I'm invested now.
Oh, they're holding 2 different congresses right now.
2 different boards of directors.
Okay. Any other questions for him? Anything else? Any other requests?
That's it for now.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for now.
Okay.
Is there maybe a better way to get a hold of you than just sort of...
What you did is probably the safest thing you could do.
Okay.
Especially, someone owns this and is going to want it back. So the farther you stay... I don't even know if it's how safe it is to travel through Boostos space.
Well, yeah, but it's a chance we have to take because we still need to communicate.
Yeah.
Trust me, once we're done communicating, we can and getting our data.
Now, you guys also probably might recall that 70 Opeuchi is one of the systems that when the original generation ship got there, because the planet was so Earth-like, the civilization evolved and is damn near as advanced as Terra, and as a result although they voluntarily joined the Ustas organization, they probably could have resisted if they didn't want to do it and may have been successful, which is probably the only colony that can say that. So the local government there is not probably as much of a threat and probably not quite as loyal to Ustas as you would find in other places, because they're going to have governors that are imposing.
They're not as beholden.
Right. But he does tell you that it traveling through a bunch of Ustas systems, if you come across, he says, I'm going to guess the Navy, someone might recognize this ship or know that it's not supposed to be flying around.
Only if they can see us.
True. And that's it. And he leaves.
Okay.
There is no sound in space.
Not some walking on the...
I got it.
70 Obuchi and going through the airlock.
Right.
I would like to contact. I'll send a message ahead once we get into communication range. Because this is what this is another 2-week journey, right? Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah, well, no. Did you find a map? Did you look?
No, I thought you said
I'll
not
look.
to. Okay.
I'll look. Because you guys need to figure out what route you want to take.
Oh, yeah.
Because you now have a jump 3 ship.
Yay!
Yes.
So there might be ways that you can get there without going through.
That's important. That could be fun. Oh yeah, stalking. Could you grab me another liqueur while you're...
Which kind?
I don't care. I'm not that picky. I actually like the coconut. They taste like cream soda.
Okay, coconut it is. Because you're literally the only person that ever knows who likes coconut.
Well, I don't really like coconut, but it tastes like
but
cream
the
soda.
coconut liqueur.
Okay.
So, if we find this guy, how much are we going to talk? How much are we going to tell him?
Does he how much he already knows? Are we going to find him on the alien ship? Sorry, I shouldn't be talking about all this while
we can't hear you at all. Yeah, I mean, we don't know where we're going to find him. If we find him on the alien ship. But I feel like no matter what, we should at least, until we know more about him. Oh, yeah, say they're still here.
And find out what he knows.
Yeah, find out what he knows. Find out if he might be connected to this. Because if he is involved with these things, he might be the source of where people on Terra are getting these things. And that might put him squarely in the bad guy camp.
Exactly.
All right. So where are we on this map? We're basically on Sol.
You're on Sol.
And Sol is...
Sol is the one that doesn't have a border around it.
They're very
And it says S-O-L.
in the
It's
middle.
Your map
so
is up.
tiny.
It's right there. It's right in the middle. It's right dead...
There.
There. Boom.
Okay.
So we are here. And where do we need
70
to go?
Opiuchi is towards Stork. Are you writing you are here?
You are here. It's what you are. All right.
Towards Stork.
Okay.
A little more. There.
70 Opiuchi.
Yeah. That's where you need to get
So
to.
it's like 12 o'clock.
And so all of this blue is what? Is that...
That's Usta's
Usta's
space.
space.
But we have a jump 3, so we can go 1, 2, 3.
No, don't count the
The
hex
square you're
you're in.
in.
1, 2, 3.
And this is neutral space, so this would be our stop one.
Right.
Except there's no star system.
Except
there.
there's nothing there,
you can't
and we need
refuel.
to refuel. So what we need to do is if we can find a gas giant like that one there, so we can go 1, 2, 3. That's outside of space, right? We get refueled. We can go 1, 2, 1, 2. Maybe. Well, let's not commit yet because we still got to plan this out.
Oh, it's a
Is that
pencil.
pencil?
Jinx.
1, 2, 3, and then we can either get to here, or we can either get to here. And
You can
refuel.
also get to there from Sol.
Yeah, we could. 1, 2, 3, but yeah. So really, there is no other place. 1, 2, 3.
But that
1,
doesn't help
2,
us. Like we're
3.
super far
1,
out.
2, 3.
No matter what we do, we'll have to make one stop in Usta space.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we might as well not go here.
Right. And it looks like no
because
matter what we do, it's 2 jumps.
Yeah.
If we do the straight shot, then we make one stop in Usta space. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh no! So we probably should.
We just
So
have,
the question is: so this is 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. No, you're right. We should stop here in the neutral space. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, and we stop here in Usta space, and then that puts us within jump of our destination.
so it's 2 jumps.
For our second jump, should we go this way, so we're at least out of Usta's space for 1 square or 1 hex?
But we're in jump
Does
space,
it-
which they
yeah,
can track us
like
in.
that's
That's true.
We're just
It's
going
like
to blink.
being in warp,
You
right?
don't exist in the intermediate.
We're just going to blink in
space.
once, refuel, and blink out.
Okay.
There is no other way to not do that, right? 1, 2, Yeah, this is the only place that we might be able to get to without. What does the symbols mean here? We're looking at.
You got gas giant.
Gas giant.
There's a gas giant.
And
Yeah.
there's a
You need that.
planet next to it. Is that a habitable
No,
planet?
the little planet means it's a gas giant.
That's a
that
gas giant.
We can refuel theirs with that little symbol means.
Yeah, that's the best route in order to avoid the most amount of.
So you're going to go to Weiss 0855, 0714, and then to SCR 1845, 6357.
That's correct.
Okay, right. All right. Make that first jump, that first astrogation check. And that would be, it's a base 4. You're going to be at...
Not under duress or anything.
But you're going to be at -3 because it's a jump 3. You can keep that. I have multiple copies. So you need
Anybody
to
else got astrogation? You want to give me a
You are
bonus?
the
Joey
only
was
one.
Joey was the other one with astrogation.
He's not here.
You need a 7.
He's not here.
7 or higher.
Nice.
Damn!
Boom.
It's a 10.
Here, you keep the maps that
I'm
you've astrogation.
keeping of the map.
Whoop.
You're the map. You're the map. You're the
Doris the Explorer.
yeah.
Oh, I was wondering about that because I was like, for some reason, the first thing that popped in my head was like, "You're the map around."
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailers for the movie?
No other hex is gonna keep you down. Yeah, that didn't scare
Have
me.
you guys seen the trailers for the Dora movie?
I saw some images on Twitter about it today that were a little weird.
One of them looks freaking hysterical.
Yeah?
It was...
Where she looks at the camera.
She looks at the camera and her dad's like, maybe it's just a phase.
That's awesome. I hope it's good.
I hope so too.
Doris the Explorers, for those of you that haven't watched this before.
Dora the... Oh, yeah.
Kimi made a Call of Cthulhu character who's a female explorist, and then she started to name her Doris, and then somewhere along the line she realized, oh my god, I've just
Doris
made
the
Dora the Explorer.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So anyway,
It's
tune
fun.
into that game too.
Yeah, that's next Sunday.
Okay, so you are in a star system that is well outside. That you might be the first people to ever have come here.
Me?
And it
And
is
it's as exciting as when Stargate Universe would drop in for refueling somewhere. That is to say, only the fun thing, like the only interesting things happen on the ship.
right. You may not even know that it's gray rather than blue, because blue means that there's water present on the
Yeah.
planet within the habitable zone. Gray means there isn't, or there isn't a planet within the habitable zone. But there's a gas giant. You know that they probably can figure that stuff out. So
Yeah.
you may refuel. You'll need a piloting roll, probably. I would say it's probably like probably a 5 or higher.
About a 5.
It's a 6.
You got piloting.
Okay,
You got
good.
the skill. Okay.
Plus whatever, other thing would add on to that.
And then
If it's intellect, it would be a 7.
Nice.
I think it is intellect.
It's a 7.
Okay. SCR 1845, 6357. Another roll at a 7.
It's a 7!
That's it's an 8 with my
An 8.
estimation.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
No, I don't want an update right now.
Every
They're
time.
both doing that. Okay. You are now in SCR 1845, 6357, also known as Dolan's Peak,
Where's the map?
where you have been before. He's got the
Oh,
map.
so this is the place we want to go. We're there now.
This is Dolan's Peak. This is not 70 OPUG.
Yeah, we have one more.
You have one more jump. This is your second intermediary jump.
Wait,
Actually,
Dolan's
we-
Peak is where the
If we put it this way,
The planet with
apex
the apes.
predators
Yes.
were.
Yeah.
The Ape X Predators.
Oh, that's so dad
So-
of you.
We're dorky
so we jumped
today.
to there, and now we're jumped to here.
Yes.
Dolan's Peak.
Is that where you wanted to go? Is that what you meant when you were talking earlier, Pooja?
That's where you wrote the
I
line.
mean, this is where the number 2 is.
That's
Yeah.
where that's
I
where our
just
another
didn't
gas
realize
giant
that
is.
this would also be where we were
Oh,
before,
got
and
it.
I
Okay.
got confused.
Look.
So you jump into the system, you kind of jump into the outer system, and you can spot that there is a gas giant, and orbiting around the gas giant is that very same science vessel that you saw when you came through the system the last time.
Are we able to refuel while still being hidden? Since we're not using any
That's
electronic
tough.
stuff?
That's tough. You probably no, because you are going to be thrusting, and there's probably a lot of maneuvering and thrusting against the planet's gravity and things like that. So
that's
you're
true.
probably using a significant amount of power.
We're 12 today, sorry.
Pooja. Of all people.
Oh, yeah.
just giggles.
Yeah.
The
totally
hand
does.
gesture that
Anything.
really got me there.
The thrusting with the hand was. It was.
I could have ignored the rest. In any case, honestly, if I had realized that that this place was Don't Speak, I probably would have suggested going
I
somewhere
kind of had
else.
the same thought. I'm like, really? That would have been nice to know before we jumped it back into it. But
But we're here now,
we are.
and so we cannot refuel and stealth at the same time.
No.
But what we can do,
Is stay stealthed until they
Sure.
are
Yes.
done with whatever they're doing around
Or-
the gas giant, and they go back to the
or
planet.
This is where they were when you came through here.
yeah, they're not leaving.
Oh.
But here's
3
what
months
here's
ago,
what we can
so-
do.
Oh, I
is-
thought they were in orbit around the planet.
No, they're over around gas.
What we can do is get in a synchronous orbit on the other side and just basically stay keeping the planet between us and them. Where they and so if we go in stealth, they won't know we're there. We do
And
our
then we
refueling.
match- and then we match
They
their
can't.
orbit.
They can't see around the planet. Then we bop out. But it will take. It'll take some crackerjack timing.
So you can make your approach in stealth. It just takes you a little longer.
Better longer than, hey, what are you doing with our ship?
There is an encrypted message emanating from the station.
Can we scoop it up and then?
Sure.
Does this thing have a host of decryption software?
Someone with comms would need to be able to deal with
I
that.
think that's Kimi.
Nope. Add int. And I'm going to say you need a 7. No, 8. 8, sorry.
Well, that's a 7 that I rolled, and that's an 8, 9, 10.
It is an encrypted, sort of Ustas Navy only distress signal from the station. The science station, or the science vessel.
The vessel that
Oh,
is
vessel.
currently orbiting the gas giant.
I call it a station because...
It's
Let me show you a
ginormous?
picture. It is... Even though it is actually a...
It's a Deep Space Nine.
it is not Deep Space Nine.
But it's just
It's not nearly
really
that
big ship.
It's not nearly that big. But the way it's built, it kind of looks like a space station, but it's actually a ship. I'm going to try to find a picture of it.
Okay.
Okay. Is it on fire? Is there bits and pieces hanging off of it?
How old is
yeah.
it?
Is
How
it
old
melting?
is the distress? How old is the distress call?
It's currently
Being. Oh, great.
repeating.
Okay.
That's what it looks like.
So. Oh, it's like a big ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the
It's a
thing
ring.
sticking up in the center.
And they could stack a bunch of them, so yeah, it does become like a
Okay.
space station. I got it.
Cool.
It's called a
Yeah,
laboratory.
it kind of looked like exactly every other space station that you would ever expect.
Right.
Yes.
But it's actually a ship.
Cool.
Is there any way that we can get any data off of this? Is it melting? Like from now? Is it on fire?
You have using passive sensors. The life support is still on. It's emanating an ordinary amount of heat. You wouldn't know much beyond that. If you wanted to actively scan it, you could.
If
You can't
we
do that while you're
actively-
stealth,
No, but if we change our transponder over to the Vanguard and actively scan, will they be able to tell it's not the Vanguard?
If they actively scan, yes.
If they actively scan
If
us.
you actively scan
Well, we can actively scan them and then turn our stealth back on, and then they can't get anything from us.
Yeah, but that's real suspicious.
Well, yes.
I don't think there's a chance they might. I'll probably leave it to a die roll if they can determine that. Because someone has to be smart enough to actually analyze the scanning signals you're sending as to
paranoid
whether or
enough.
not they're...
And also care enough while they're sending out their distress signal of their
Right,
own. So maybe the better option is to change our transponder to the Vanguard and open up a line of communication. We're in a precarious spot, but we can't ignore them.
Couldn't we?
If they're in trouble.
Especially if it has something to do with why we were here before.
We don't work for the Navy. We're
Let me just say, in
we
case so no one screams when they listen to the podcast version of this, because they'll be listening more intently. As you were reading the tech manuals in your last jump, did you mark down another week of study?
I did not.
Ooh,
do
did
that.
not.
Actually, you'll have two.
Yay!
Yay! Only one more week to go before I can change to something else.
But there's like an antenna probe that can extend beyond the bubble, so that you can pick up
I
signals.
did not know that.
Otherwise, you wouldn't know any of this. because you're basically flying blind.
Nice. I like the thought of like this invisible thing and just like out of nowhere.
It's like a periscope.
Yeah, it pops up out of like nowhere.
I love that.
Yeah, very nice. Okay.
So, but it's passive. You can't scan with it. It's just like an antenna.
Mm-hmm. But the idea is that if we, no, we don't work for the Navy, but we work for a humanitarian organization. And I feel like a base mission of a humanitarian organization is not to leave people to their doom.
We're in a stolen Navy. We're in a stolen Navy ship.
Appropriated.
What are we going to do?
Legitimate salvage.
What is it we can do to help them? I mean, other than maybe relay the fact that they're in.
Depends on what the problem is.
Exactly.
If it were melting because of nanotech, then certainly it corresponds with our current mission. But otherwise, it could just be bait for a trap. I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of a specific trap.
It's an awfully big ship, so something went seriously sideways.
It could have been with the Apex Predators if they were mucking around with that business.
Mm-hmm.
If they got a bunch of them together.
That is a very good point. They could easily be overwhelmed with a bunch of hive-minded
Lurkers.
Yeah,
lurkers.
and it's our fault because we were
Tearing-
here before.
No, well, we warned them not
Technically,
That's true.
technically, we warned them exactly not to
That's
do
to. I remember
this.
they were dicks about it.
They were total dicks about it.
But leaving
I kinda feel like-
a bunch of scientists to get eaten by some apex predators from a foreign planet seems like not necessarily the most
I seem to
humanitarian
remember them
thing to
being
do.
pretty darn rude to us about it.
There was
And
that one dude, he was kind of hot.
if there's a problem up here, there may also be a problem down in the colony below. And we did try and help those people, and I feel a little bit
I feel
obligated
a bit,
to help
yeah,
them as well.
like I feel very protective of the people on this colony.
Do we want to let that? Okay, since we've been here before, do we
Forgot.
want to let them know that we are back in system, or do we want to just pretend to be somebody else?
I would like to.
Not the colony, the ship.
I would try to pretend to be the Vanguard. Then they would also not expect our ship to be able to help, because our ship, the Vanguard can't help them.
Let me reword this. If we did in fact bring, or would they hold us responsible for this travesty?
Are we having this conversation in character?
Yeah.
Okay. I will be Irish then. Sorry, I thought we were just talking.
Oh, I forgot you were Irish.
I know. It's a thing.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm just
she does
wondering
two
if they might hold some ill will towards us if we come in as ourselves and like, you did this to us, you bastards.
I mean, literally warn them against doing exactly what we think they did.
Right. Well, and also they will know that we have some background information. They may be like, all right, well, we did the thing you told us not to do, so we're fucked now, and we'd like your help, please.
That's I'm fine either way. I think there's different consequences that might happen either
right.
way.
You're right. Either way, it's a crapshoot. I
Yeah,
should.
yeah.
I mean, that's true, but also, if they are beholden to us for saving their lives from a problem that we already warned them not to do, assuming that it is that problem.
Sure.
I mean, maybe we can get some more. We can get something out of this.
Always
Out of
working
their-
the angles. Always working the angles. Yeah, you spooks there. You guys are always working the angles.
It is literally the job description.
It is. All right, you go do your thing. I'll go prep my suit.
Hope that dye job's done.
Oh yeah, I got some pineapple.
Definitely don't want them recognizing these suits.
I downloaded some pineapple stencils, so I've got those going on.
Perhaps it might be better if we're going to actually pose as other people once in a while to not have very clear marks on your suit that are easily identifiable.
Well, the stuff we have here is Navy and Ustas all over it. Do we want to get rid of those things?
Oh, that's probably a problem for next time we're in a place where we can get new things.
Well, we can just tape over them, or I can just start taking the stitching off. And they're just basically.
You got
I mean,
lots of duct
basically
tape.
the same thing that we did when
Yeah.
we went out to pose as the COC.
Yeah.
That's up to. I mean, I can do that. I can start working on that now. It won't take very long to get rid of any patches and stuff we have. Or
I feel like that's
those
the
I can
best-
tape
A very
over.
good idea. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get going on that
All right.
in case you guys want to use them.
So you duct tape all the.
Anything I can't remove, I'll
Right.
duct tape over.
Okay.
Sometimes
Well,
a
the-
Sharpie might come in handy.
Well, the you're putting on the battle dress,
Not that one. No, I
Oh.
don't know how to use it yet.
the regular combat
Yeah,
armor.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
This the stuff from the
The
other
T11 combat armor from the actual.
ship. I think that only
6-4
requires VAC 1.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my T11 or
Doesn't it even require
my
that?
vac suit got.
You have to have 0.
If you remember,
Is it actually Is it a vac suit as well? Or are you using the hostile environment? Because I think the combat armor, I don't know if that requires any skill, does it?
I'll look it up if you want.
But it's also not a vac suit.
Yeah, that's true.
Combat armor. Oh, no, it is a vac suit. Yeah, at Tech 13 you need vac 1.
So that's the combat
Oh,
armor.
sorry. No, I said it was Tech 12.
Yes.
You need vac 0.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I think we all have that.
So,
I'm just curious. Is that... I just want to make sure that it's combat armor. Not generally available.
That's nice. Do we like hearing you read rumble out loud?
I like the grumbly
Oh,
voices.
it
They're
can
somewhat soothing.
function as a vac suit and provides life support for 6 hours, which is probably less time than a regular vac suit, I would imagine.
I would hope so. Or at least I would
yeah,
hope
it
a
actually
vaccine
says,
would provide more.
I'm looking at
No, a vac
vac suit.
suit's 6 hours.
It's also 6 hours.
Wow. Jeez.
Everything is 6 hours, it says.
All right.
I feel
So-
like the future kind of blows.
Yeah, it does. It kind of does.
There's still no flying cars.
Are there really still no flying cars?
Did we know that?
No, the air rafts.
It's a raft. It's not a car.
I mean, you could probably buy a fiberglass package to make it look like an old car.
You have a G carrier, which is like a anti-gravity armored personnel carrier as
Okay.
well.
They have that for golf carts. I'm sure they'll have
What was
it.
I going to ask? Actually, there was something pertinent here. It was it's covering over...
So the combat armor is probably armor, so there's probably not patches or anything. It's probably stuff you'd have to either scrape off or you'd have to just duct tape it.
Okay.
Or paint over. Or you can paint over it too.
We got
Whatever
spray
you
paint,
want.
right?
You got all that stuff. Yeah.
You have skill in that, right?
I got enough time.
Sure. Covering the stuff up is not a problem.
Okay.
So you do that while on your way there.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to ask. We could easily just go in as Navy onto the Navy vessel, impersonating Navy officers, if we wanted to do that, too.
Yeah, except we were here before.
I
And
understand.
these people were here before.
understand.
They will recognize us.
Okay. Covering over. I'll leave the vac suits alone, because when we need a vac suit, we might get a vac suit. Or the hazmat suits. But the vac suit... What we have here is combat armor and hostile vac suits, and then one battle dress, which nobody can use yet.
Always try.
If
Well,
I
that
need
requires
to.
a vac suit of 2, right?
Yeah, it needs
Yeah.
vac 2. You can use it. It just would. You're at a -2 right off the bat.
Yes. Okay.
If we're gonna board the ship, maybe. But right now, I'm just getting the stuff prepped in case. I don't expect us to be making any. We're not going to be storming the ship's boat. An hour from now, I'm going to regret this statement. Just know it. As I walk down the hallway muttering.
Okay. So you do whatever it is you decide to do to the uniforms or the armor, and how close are you going to approach? Are you going to approach?
Can we contact them over comms before? Like
Sure.
from where we are, where they cannot see us?
We can use our little radio.
That only
Periscope.
receives.
Oh,
That's
that-
Yes,
passive.
but like, we drop stealth, but we're on the other side of the gas giant.
That would make it difficult to have radio
Well-
communication.
Yeah, as we're passing by, we could easily just stop it. But you were also spoofing our other transponder, so we can still be out of visual range. And,
Oh, sure,
And still read as our ship.
And that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you send.
Because
out-
also, if it isn't the apex predators, and it is, say, like, some kind of deadly flu,
Yeah. then-
let's not go right in there.
Yeah. Or nanobots.
Yeah. Though, admittedly, you'd think if it was the quantum bots, they would have already melted this place by now.
That's true.
And didn't they say that if you get 6 of these apex predators together, they're smarter than a human?
Yes.
So if they've been running that ship, that lab for a while, let's say there's 7 or 8 or 9
Oh wait,
of them
that's
on
not
there.
true.
And-
I'm
Up to
sorry.
50? Oh,
It
actually.
is. It is 3 is close to human intelligence. 10 to 20, they are at, within the range of human intelligence, and then anything above 20 up to 50 surpasses human intelligence.
So in the unlikely event that the entire lab ship is being run by apex predators, what do you want to do about it?
Run away.
Okay.
Wish them the best in
Yeah.
their new endeavors.
Right.
And they're
They
and
now have starship capabilities.
congratulations, you're sentient now.
We'll be
I
yeah, okay.
would not like to be absorbed into your hive mind.
Yep,
No,
yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Assimilation is not the only option.
Because it occurs to me if they brought up, a dozen of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that'd
it-
be problematic.
And it's been a couple of months, right?
Several months.
Several months?
I think so. I think it has been a few months.
Because, we went to Caliban, and then we went to Earth, and then
Well,
or Terra, and then we went back to that other place, and then we
When
went
you
to the other
passed,
place.
you passed through the system on your way back from Caliban. That's when you first saw this ship. It wasn't there because remember it was actually like a troop transport or something that was here the first
Well,
time.
the
you were
Marines were here the first time.
there. Right.
Yeah.
There's a really old vid we used to watch in boot camp at night, when you can't sleep or whatever, called Planet of the Apes. And so ask for Caesar if you call up, or Revenge of the Planet of the Apes. Ask for Caesar because he led the revolt. It's a great old
Apes
movie
shall
from
not
the
kill
20th
ape.
century. Right? That's the one. You saw it too?
Ape shall not harm ape.
Okay, so you send your hailing message,
Yes.
and you identify yourselves as the Vanguard.
Yes.
Okay, all right. You get a response. It is it is a male voice. It says, "This is First Mate Cordoba. We're in the center pod, and we're having a containment issue with some biologicals.
How many biologicals?
I'm not sure how many survived, but there were 19 here.
Are you talking about
The lurkers?
The lurkers? You had 19 of them on your ship?
I'm not familiar with the term lurkers, but this is an ectomorph from Dolan's Peak.
The apex
this is-
predator.
Correct.
What did we tell you not to do? We told you not to do this.
Have we met?
Just
This
had
isn't
to
the
get
same
that-
ship, and you never communicated with the ship before.
Had to get
It's
that dig
just-
in there.
It just comes out. It's just like exactly what we told you not to do. Were you in communication with the Marine vessel here prior to your arrival?
Yes, they're the ones that collected them. I'm sorry.
Well, we were here previously. We helped the locals down on the colony. And when the Marines arrived, we warned them that we shouldn't have that many apex predators together.
I don't know if you knew that stuff.
We did.
The first time
We
through.
100% did.
We were totally like, what you need to do is make sure that not too many of them stay together.
Yeah.
because
I thought you
they'll
guys
be fine
found that out the
otherwise.
first time you went to 70 Opeuchi. Did you not before then?
Yeah,
Okay,
because we
great.
figured out that they were communicating and
We
getting
figured
super
out that they
smart.
were a
That's right.
hive mind.
They were able to open the doors and
That's
shit.
right. That's right. You
And
did
we
figure out
said,
they were a
like,
hive mind.
make sure that, like, you'll be fine so long as they stay spread out. Make sure that you never gather, like, you
I believe it was actually
never
was it
let
two
them
crows?
gather up again.
Oh, two crows may have figured that
I
stuff
think
out.
because remember we were doing the whole. They were opening doors and figuring out the computer system on us.
Right.
And we told the locals
With
we're
three
like,
of them.
Yeah, and we told the locals we're like, as long as you keep the population down, so they're not getting too
Crowded.
then you'll be fine.
Out of character, I seem to remember when we were landing, the Marines were like, "We're Marines, man. We don't need to tell us what to do." And we were like, "Okay." And that's when I remember them being dicks.
They're Marines.
They also shot
They
the
know
shit
what
out of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they did kill. They did a handy job culling the population down.
In case you haven't been keeping up on current events, we're getting our asses kicked, man.
However, I'm just saying.
We told you so.
Yes. Also, I'm going to open the neural com to Two Crows and be like, "You remember that thing we told them exactly not to do?"
Like, well, to be fair, we told the Marines that. This guy may not be, and they may not have passed that on. Would
The
they?
Marines did it.
But yeah, I'm talking about
The
this shit.
Marines were the ones who did it, though.
Sure.
Obviously, they did not tell these poor scientists what they should have known.
Either way,
What do you want to do about it?
we're going to have to do something about it. At least it's just 20 of them. 19.
What's
Could be worse.
What's the current status of the humans on the station?
I'm the sole survivor.
Oh, good. Well, congratulations. We're Where exactly in the ship are you located?
He's in the central pod.
Oh,
He's
okay.
in this thing.
And there's
This
no
ship is slightly
emergency.
different.
There's no emergency evacuation from your location.
It has more spires, and he basically has it sealed off.
Okay, so it looks like a wheel with spokes, and he's
Right.
in the center.
Yes.
Okay.
He said that there was one pod, and someone took it before I was able to get here. If you're going to approach, be careful, because they figured out how to use vac suits.
Yes, that's what happens when you get
Oh, good.
more. That's what happens when you get that many of them together.
And they're piecing them together.
They're-
They were big.
No, I know.
They jumped out of an airlock onto the ship, onto the pod, and then used a cutting torch to get inside.
They're very intelligent in these numbers. And you don't have a vac suit, I'm assuming.
Yeah, there's vac suits here.
You're in one, correct?
I can be in one in 2 or 3 minutes.
I feel like it's best if you prep that now.
Okay. I don't want to jump out of the ship because they'll just jump on me.
Right. Hold,
Have you
please,
tried
for
to
a moment.
negotiate?
I'm not going in there.
Whatever-
Last time they tore me up.
Whatever language they're speaking,
Negotiate.
I don't understand it.
Do you speak Amerikish?
He's speaking American, yes.
Oh.
Well,
Uh,
I didn't.
Hold, please, sir. Mute it for a second so that he can't hear what we're saying.
Okay.
All right, well, I have a couple different options. If we blast the outside of the outer ring, we might be able to have the center survive, and he could float, and then we could pick him up in the wreckage. If he has a vac suit on, he might survive that. The other option would be trying to communicate with the apex predators, the lurkers, because last time they seemed to know what I was saying when I wrote the notes.
Yes,
in the
and
mine.
when we caught their thoughts, their stray thoughts, when we were in range, we could understand them that way.
Right.
We could understand the basic communication.
But if they're not communicating with him, I'm thinking it's a choice. And
Yeah.
he's not able to, if they're not accidentally letting them pick it up.
Like, if he's not picking up any kind of spillover,
Yeah.
then it feels like that's a deliberate action on their part.
Do we really want to risk ourselves for this one guy? I mean, and then we're going to take him to the super secret ship anyway. What are we going to do with him? I mean,
We're
I don't
not
want to
taking him to the secret ship.
I don't wanna-
secret ship. The idea would be to take him down to the planet.
I don't want to be cruel or anything, but I kind of feel like we need to just alert the Marines, and they need to come in and deal with this.
Is there Shari over there?
Yes.
Well, if we have it looks like this. Like there's the outer ring. I mean, obviously they would have been trying to do that for a bit. But if we are able to target these spokes, or whatever they're actually called in science talk, we
Probably
might be able.
spokes.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Or spars. I don't know.
Spars, okay.
Something. I don't know
But
what
if we're
a spar
able to
is.
target these and blast them, we might be able to have this float free and then simply just pick up wherever he floats, and then in the ship's boat we could take him down to the planet.
But wouldn't our best option for that would be to detonate charges on each of these rather than attempt to destroy them via our turrets?
Right, but we can't get close because
Exactly.
the lurkers will come out. So
I also don't want to leave a record of this super secret ship being in system. If we start destroying things, they're going to start figuring out how that happened. They're
Because
gonna
the
eventually
Vanguard
realize.
would not have the capability to do that on its own. I
Well-
think in terms of I think we should attempt to negotiate.
Let's see if there's any Marines left on planet. Maybe they can come up and rescue him.
Wouldn't they have already done that when he sent
I
out the
don't
distress signal?
know.
Because the planet must have the distress signal. They must have received it, right?
It's encrypted.
Fucking morons. Maybe.
It was a Navy encryption.
So that means that there's probably just the colonists down on the planet at this point. There weren't any Marines on there before when we showed up until they came later. So I can't imagine that they've
Left any.
I don't know if they left some. I don't know if they left if there are any more of the sciences people down there. I'm assuming that they wouldn't just blast it and leave. I'm assuming they'd leave somebody there to help mop up and protect.
Well,
but I don't know. We'd have to find out.
Well, then they're down there and ignoring this signal, and they've chosen not to save these people. So that puts us in the same predicament as if they weren't here.
Mm-hmm. Oops. Well,
why don't we just passively monitor the mining colony too to see if it hasn't been overrun as well?
You are getting like very incidental transmissions from there.
All right.
You're not getting any distress calls or people screaming into microphones or anything.
That's a good thing.
they're back.
It's probably actually a little better down there now since the population has been reduced by 19. Maybe more because they may not have taken some of them alive.
That's true.
These things are really fierce fighters. If I remind you that
Yes.
One hit almost killed you.
Almost killed me.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying
a lot of
negotiation
them.
might be our best option here. They are currently of an intelligence level, as we are.
Right, but
Well, at least, us. And I just gestured to Joey.
right, but they don't have any cultural similarities with us. So, I mean, how do we know they know what a promise is? If we say, "Hey, promise not to kill us if we come on board,"
didn't we find out that they were a leftover experiment of a super soldier weaponry?
Well, we saw evidence that they had been experimented on centuries ago.
Yeah, this
So-
is
At least.
Their forebears, their original kind of.
Wasn't there a warning
Ancestors.
about aggression and such anyway? I mean, I'm just saying we can try negotiating, but I have a feeling it's probably aggressive. We're dealing with space orcs here.
Yes, but they are intelligent space works. And with intelligence comes the possibility that
Sure.
they have something that they want.
Anything better than me walking in there trying to take them on is a whole lot. Yeah, I'm up for any of those options if we're going to rescue this guy.
I mean, the other option would be just to see if
Blow
we
up the
can,
entire ship. Say, screw that guy.
or just blow up enough of it where we kill enough of these apex predators that they no longer have the hive intelligence.
However, that leaves us open to discovery in terms of our capability that the Vanguard would not have. And currently they think we're the Vanguard.
I'm also concerned that these things might find a way over to our ship. They start climbing around on our ship. I don't know I don't know. I'm concerned. I have lots of concerns.
Well, we can blast them from far enough away that they won't be able to float this direction. But, I mean, really any interaction with this survivor at all basically leaves us up to being discovered. So we have to decide whether that's worth it or not to us. Because even if we pick him up in the ship's boat, he's going to recognize the ship's boat as not being the Vanguard's.
Well, he wouldn't know what the Vanguards look like.
Right,
None
but
of your stuff says Navy on it anywhere, but it's all Navy design.
Yeah.
But the Vanguard could have been a cast-off Navy ship. It's like when you buy an old police cruiser.
Is it worth it? What has this guy got that we need to do other than just save him?
Sanctity of
that's
human
enough.
life and all.
Yeah.
Just saying. Core mission.
Is it? Because I think we're nanotech hunting. Well, okay.
And we're not, because the nanotech is currently blown up. The quantum bots have been antimattered. And we're several months away from none of that objective is actually urgent. We are following up on a months ago lead on 70 Obuchi.
Okay. So my recommendation is to have him space himself in a spacesuit and we pick him up in the ship's boat.
That sounds good to me.
I know he's concerned about leaving because they're all over in vac suits and stuff, but I'm wondering if they can't be outside for too long. It's a 6-hour air limit, and I'm going to assume because they're bigger and cobbled together, it might be slightly less. So my thought is that one person in a vac suit is easier to evade than one whole ship coming in, and then they can hone in on our ship. jump around all over it.
I would know this because I have a vac suit, but how much air is in a vac suit? Like
6
how much
hours.
time? 6
Enough for
hours?
6
Oh, you
hours,
said-
yeah.
okay. Perhaps we could convince him, since he's in the control pod, right?
He's in the center pod.
If he puts his vac suit on, he turns off the life support in the system in
In the ship, the entire ship.
Yes, all 15 of them can't be in vac suits.
He did say something about those that survived. He said there were 19 at first, so some of them may not have survived. They might be, but still, one's too many for me.
Right,
Well,
but
like-
if they, as long as we can cut down their number enough
Yeah.
to lose their intelligence level, if
And
it
it would
shuts
need
off,
to be at least, it would need to be more than half of them die to get below like a baseline human intelligence.
Right.
Because 10 of them together are as smart as a person.
So I'm wondering if he's able to just sort of one small human person space himself and get lost in the vastness of space without them being able to track him, and we can pick him up once he gets a fair enough distance away.
I mean, we can try that, but he already said that they'd taken out a ship that was a pod that was escaping. So if they're taking out a pod that was escaping, I think one man in a vac suit, they just rip him apart.
I'm just
Not to
wondering.
mention, I mean, remember, the way they got the codes to the doors was through their telepathic ability.
Oh, so they could track him telepathically?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I still feel like negotiation might be our best primary option.
We could try that.
And then we have like a backup option of like blowing everything up.
As long as it doesn't involve me going toe to toe with them, I'm okay with it. Go for it.
I don't think us trying to take on 15 of them with just the 3 of us. 19, yes. Is a workable plan or feasible.
Who knows what these scientists are doing to them, too? They might just be pissed.
Sure.
Right. I mean, maybe a situation where the lurkers are actually the victims in the situation, to be completely honest.
It feels a bit like they already were. Attempting to live their lives.
Perhaps if we agree to return them to the surface and to their group.
Maybe. Let's first see if we can get in touch with them.
Yeah.
So to transmit, you've already dropped your stealth. Okay. You send a hailing signal. What? And there is no reply.
I think we're going to have to perhaps get close enough to use the psychic connection.
Ship it is then.
Okay, so you're going to move in closer.
The ship, we're going to take the boat.
The boat. Yes, that's what I mean by ship.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
we're not moving.
Who's going on the boat?
All of us?
Yeah.
All 3 of you? Okay.
Who's got gunnery skill? Anybody got a gunnery skill?
I do.
That one?
Oh, no, not gunnery. No. I have heavy weapons and a bunch of gun skills.
I only have regular gun skills.
I'm learning
I
it.
have gunner turret at 1.
Oh, good.
I have a feeling that you guys should take the boat, and then I will keep you covered with the turret.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Because if they start coming at you, at least I can start shooting at them with... I have it right there. Look at that. Look, who knew? I was sitting here thinking, gunner turret, that's never going to come into play. God, what a
Well, you
useless
probably
skill.
randomly rolled it.
I did.
Yeah.
Love that.
Well, maybe I shouldn't have spent those 2 weeks in it because I thought none of us had it.
No,
probably just
definitely
realized you had
better
it.
than more than
Well,
one of us have it.
we have 2 turrets. It'd be nice to have 2
Yeah.
people
2
manning them. Yeah.
Does any of the rest of our crew have turret skills?
Maybe.
Probably. I feel like Attila should.
Ship's engineer? Yeah, probably. Probably has it at least 0.
Yeah.
I'll say. There's 2 engineers. There's Nisha Popov, too. You have 2 engineers.
I forgot we had all those NPCs. I keep thinking it's just us.
No.
And 2 crows.
And 2 people.
And do you
2
know,
Crows is badass, but he probably doesn't have gunnery.
No, I'm guessing not.
he's a doctor. He's Dr. Jim.
So I'll say Attila has it at 0.
Okay.
If this is just to get him and get back, I mean, we should probably refuel our ship before we do this, because we may have to make a hasty exit out of system if they're coming at us.
Good call.
That sounds like a good plan.
I also feel like we need to. I mean, I would really like to be covered by the turrets, but I also really don't want to I don't want this ship to be seen, and I don't want a record of it in system.
You said that he's on a ship, right? Can his ship land, or is it too big to land?
Who he?
I'm sorry, the guy with all the lurkers.
No, he's on that.
He's on the pod.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, but you said, oh, it's not a space station. It's
not a space
it's
station.
A
The
ship.
whole thing is the ship.
Right,
Yes.
that's what I'm asking. Can the
Right.
whole thing be landed on the planet?
No.
Okay.
Well, you would probably know that this is not a streamlined ship, so trying to land it on the planet would probably result in a crash,
Okay.
a spectacular one.
Okay.
Your ship is streamlined. Your ship can enter into atmospheres and land,
Got it.
but not all ships can do that.
Okay.
Okay. I know I kept talking about negotiation. But if he's in the central hub with access to all the systems, would it be possible for him to set the ship to a decaying orbit?
You can ask him about that.
Or at least, like, set the ship to land. Set the ship to land.
Okay, ask him that.
And I do.
Okay. They rerouted all of the control circuits.
I feel like there's estimation
Or they
that
cut 'em.
10 to 20 being at human intelligence may have been a little
Pessimistic.
exaggerated. Yes, pessimistic.
Yes, it was a. I think that. I mean, I think we should definitely record all this because it proves that they're sentient beings.
Yes. Well, as we learned from Caliban, the amount that the corporations care about actual sentient beings is
Very
dependent on the impact of their pocketbooks.
Right.
How close are we to this station? Like maybe within 6 hours of currently within 6 hours of float or air raft or.
If you were using 1G acceleration, you're probably going to get to it in an hour, maybe a little less. You're distant. No one's going to jump in a vac suit and hit from
They
where you
can't
are. You're
see
at
us.
that safe
Yeah,
of a distance.
we're far
yeah.
enough away they can't see us.
I'm concerned if they've rerouted all the power and everything that they already know where we are and are mobilizing, because the last thing we want to do is to give them this ship.
Well, I mean, that's a big assumption that we wouldn't see them coming and be able to shoot them out of the
Right.
air
There's also
on
like
their way in.
a learning curve. Like they're very intelligent, but there's also going to be like they might be able to figure out how to do doors because they've been watching people do doors in and out of things. That they like turn on systems, things like that. Doubt they've been having lurkers hang out with them in like the weapons room or things like I don't know.
If they are already smarter than humans, as you maybe have posited, and they've got access to the ship's systems, they figured out how to use them, and the ship's computers, perhaps I am concerned that these things are much smarter than we're giving them credit for, and they have a much bigger plan than we want to.
I mean,
I don't think
I
there
wouldn't
is-
say like this, because currently we're on the other side of the gas giant.
No, I
Ish.
don't know.
Ish.
Yeah.
We're still outside of visual range.
Okay.
So, like, yes, they could be listening in our conversation. And they could be like, hey, there's this other ship out there that we maybe want to take over. But, like, that assumes that we won't see them coming. And we're the ones with the fancy stealth technology, not them. That's a science vessel.
It's true.
So, like, even if they were to be like, hey, let's go take over the fancy ship, they can't stop us from seeing them coming.
Mm-hmm.
If this were a movie, this is when we'd look out the viewfinder and go, oh, yeah, well, then what's that? And there's like an army of like gorilla-suited guys coming at us.
See,
But at the same time, that is seeing them coming.
I don't think that. Like we're assuming the human is the victim here, and I don't think he is. Like I don't think he was in the know about these things. But these poor creatures have been kidnapped. They're probably terrified, and they're basically seeing their home through the windows and thinking they're going to die.
I
I mean,
agree.
imagine if you went to sleep and then woke up
I-
in space.
I don't need to. That's happened. I'm with you. Just
That
let's
explains
just
a
decide what we want to do. Whether we want to rescue this guy or what.
We're going to. I
Or
think
we're going to try to
to
negotiate.
go close and try to
Negotiate.
negotiate. At least find out if we can communicate with them.
And if we're getting close, then we need to make sure that we have all our sensors on alert, because all it takes is one of these guys on our hull, and we're fucked.
Right. We won't get close enough that they can jump out at us in a second. But I think you were right. We should refuel before we do that.
Yes.
So let's do that first.
So we refuel. Mm-hmm. You'll stay on man one set of turrets, and then Attila will man the other set of turrets. And so that our flank is covered. And you and I take the boat out and attempt to negotiate.
Right. And I know you have gun skills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not gunnery.
No, but you have.
I can shoot.
Well, we both have gun combat.
Yeah.
Because if worse comes to worse, you can open up the door in your vac suit and take pot shots out
Yes.
of the door.
But the other thing that I would like to recommend is that since the ancient language kind of crossed over with a language that they understood, bring your artifact.
Right. It seems like a precarious situation, and something quite that valuable and irreplaceable might not be a smart thing to take on the trip with us.
If you would not like to, but it's just a recommendation that it might make the difference in them recognizing us as people to negotiate with.
That's true.
And it might help them, recognize, if they recognize anything about the artifact itself, then that might also help you understand it a little better.
That's true. It is quite awesome and powerful. Very well, yes.
So, you were in the bathrooms too. I'm going to man one turret. With Ezra's going to man. Attila's going to man the other, and we're going to refuel before we attempt this.
Okay. Refueling, what I said, it was a 5 or higher, I think.
Yeah.
Is that what the last one was?
I think so,
We
yes.
didn't. Did we?
Well, that was only to
We
get
didn't
around to
have
the
to
other side of the
roll.
planet without being seen.
Yeah. We didn't have to roll for
But now that we're
Oh,
not
you
having to
didn't?
be
Okay, all
seen,
right.
we're
Okay.
basically we can
All right.
refuel now.
You've refueled.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're doing it on the opposite side of the planet.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
While we discuss this.
Yep. And then we jump in the boat.
And
You two
Vesa
are in
and
the boat?
Attila.
So,
yeah.
I
And Vesa and Attila are
I
gonna-
recommend you guys take the hazmat vac suits because they have a DR of 12. The hostile environment vac suit because they have a
I think
damages
you,
of DR 12.
you have to have a certain level of vac suit to use those. don't
Well, I
remember
have a
what it was.
vaccine of one, so.
Oh, we do? Okay, then we're good, I think.
I don't think. I
Yeah.
think the only thing it requires two is the battle
Yeah,
dress.
yeah. No, that's fine.
This is a hazmat.
Hostile environment vac suit.
Okay.
I'll give you the stats on it here in a second.
I'm looking at the book.
Oh, okay.
Okay, not anymore because you flipped the page.
Well, it's right here. It's
Oh.
you do need a vac suit of
94.
1 to use
Oh,
it.
great.
Okay.
Do you have a back to the one?
Yes, I do.
That was like the first thing we all trained up.
Yes, yes, it
Like,
is.
oh.
Oh, I lied because you said this is Tech 12. It's Tech 12 that actually requires a vac suit of 0.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets
We're
better.
good.
That's like battle dress. The lower tech battle dress requires vac suit 2, and the
So
higher
it's a
tech vac suit
production
1.
of plus 12. And then. Thank you. I don't think any of the rest of this matters.
TL, what's TL? It's
I don't know.
It's
Tech
fine.
oh, tech level.
Tech
Doy.
level. So
Yeah.
it's tech level 11, which is fine.
All right.
Yeah, there's 12 is either between 11 or 13. There is no tech level 12 for the hostile environment.
It was an 11. I think it was.
Okay. Yeah, I think
hostile
you're right.
environment was
Yes,
11.
you're right. There it is.
Right. Hostile environment is.
Yes,
yeah,
we
11.
got it. Done. It
right.
can hold. It can resist 140 rads.
140, because there's a section for that here in the.
Yes.
There is.
And
And
some
the
weapons
protection
just do
is
rad damage. So.
Right.
All right, so we're in the boat, and we're on our way.
The instant your ship leaves its docking bay, you hear a lot of very low, extremely loud voices say, "Do not attempt to approach."
Like in our heads.
Mm-hmm.
Let's stop. We stop the boat.
Is
Okay.
it in what? Is it in Americish? Is it in?
You understand it.
Do we
So
hear it
do
on our
we
ship?
understand it
No.
in like our language, or do
Interesting.
we understand it in another language that we might know?
So,
it could be in another language you might know.
why are you guys stopping?
Because
It was really loud. It's
Very loud.
I'm not like in your heads like we had on the planet.
Yes.
I'm not hearing anything here.
Be glad.
maybe
They're
it's-
shouting. They're
So
shouting.
maybe it's bouncing off the rubberized skin of the ship.
Or maybe it's just targeted at people who are approaching.
Wait. This might be important because if it's on the electromagnetic spectrum,
your stealth is not on right now.
I realize that, but our ship still blocks some electromagnetics regardless of whether stealth's on or not. Yeah, you said? No, right?
It's not unless
Well,
it's on.
it's like radar absorbing.
Radar absorbing.
Yeah. Or LiDAR or whatever,
Because
active.
because
There's
I
a such a
didn't.
thing. There's
The
a-
instant you left, you're within.
You should probably talk back to them first.
Okay. I'll see if I can hear it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and think back at them. You need to return to the surface.
We will not abandon this vessel.
Will you release the hostage?
We no longer need the bridge.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Will you release the hostage?
He's not relevant to us.
Great.
Do you
So I take that as a
want,
yes.
Do you want to return to your families?
We are our family.
Welcome to sentience.
I still don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything.
Um,
Make an intelligence roll.
Me?
me?
You, no, him.
Oh.
That's probably not a good idea.
How bad
Oh
is it
no,
right now?
it's better than my dex.
Oh my god, it's a stork!
Epically failed my intelligence roll.
You must
It
be
was bound to
psionic.
happen. It was
I
bound
must
to
be
happen
psionic?
eventually.
You probably have an innate ability to block psionic attacks or communication.
Oh my god! He rolled a double one for those of you at home. It's amazing.
On an
He
intelligence
read a
roll.
stork.
So
He
like
read
how
a
do you
stork.
fail an intelligence roll?
You
you're
jump to
super,
a
you're
terribly
super
wrong
smart.
conclusion.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking I must be psionic because I'm not hearing a thing here.
That's
There's like a look. They just look at each other.
great, Vesa. That's great. If we communicate with the hostage, will you interfere with their departure?
I'm going to ask you a question as the GM to player. What are your intentions once you have the hostage?
I'm gonna tell the doctor to go down to the planet.
What are your intentions regarding the ship?
Oh,
This is GM to player.
I have no intentions regarding the ship.
They're reading your mind.
So my intention is to get the doctor out safely.
well, and we
And I
talked
give
about
no fucks about
Yeah.
the rest of it. Like if the lurkers want to go back to the planet, we're 100% on board with getting them back to the planet. But if they don't, literally welcome to sentience.
So, yeah, we'd already talked about
Okay.
about proving their sentience so that nobody can hurt them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like we'd had that conversation in character a minute ago. So
It's probably a really good thing they can't hear my thoughts then.
We shall
For
not.
the best.
We shall not interfere.
Oh, we appreciate your cooperation. Also, concern, like, I'm not going to say anything else, but, like, if they're reading my mind, which I'm assuming they are, since we're communicating mind to mind, concern, Ustas, retaliation.
Oh, okay. You're basically warning them.
yeah, trying to warn.
Got
them.
it. Okay. Over the communication system, first mate, whatever his name was, Cordoba? First mate Cordoba. It says, the central pod has just been detached.
Go down to the planet. Land.
Okay. off it heads.
It's your turn now.
Yeah.
There is no sound in space.
What?
There is no sound in space.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of said everything I already want to do, but just gonna, I'll ask them, do you have food and resources to survive up here?
We have sufficient supplies. If we need more, we'll get it.
Excellent.
You need to leave the system now.
You do know that you have many more of your kind down on the surface, that you could also communicate with if you get close enough.
We are aware.
Very well. Should we warn the colonists to leave?
No.
Like, no as in, like, they're gonna kill them? Or no as in they don't mean them any harm?
No, as in we have sufficient supplies, leave the system now.
Okay. I think we've done all that we can here.
Agreed.
Yeah, you guys are just sitting there. I can hear you chattering now and again. What's going on?
Doctor's in a good place. Welcome a new sentient life form to the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be on our primary
I wonder if they
mission.
know anything about nanotech.
Well, now that's in our heads, so... Son of a bitch.
How smart are they really?
What does that mean?
There's this thing that can kill every living thing in the galaxy.
Row your boat gently down the street. Merrily, merrily.
What are you singing for? What's going on?
Where can we obtain it?
Do you want to die?
If we need to, we will.
But do you desire to die? I think we should go.
I'm going to start backing up the ship.
If it is necessary, where can we obtain this nanotech?
I mean, do you want everything to die? Is it necessary that everything die?
Will it include all of our enemies?
It will include all of yourselves, for certain.
We are not of concern.
But your enemies may not die. They have protections.
Where can we get this protection?
I don't know.
We should go.
None of this.
I mean, I'm like...
Okay, so as
Like
we're doing this, I'm
leaflets.
pulling our ship. Thanks for letting him go. Have a nice day.
As soon as you get in the ship, you the pressure that's been on your minds just goes away like that.
Well, that was the shortest rescue ever.
Your mic's off.
We
That was the shortest rescue ever. What happened?
should get out of here.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah,
Let us go.
Do the run up to the bridge thing.
Well,
Right.
okay. What happened?
They let the guy go. And
Did you actually make communication with them? I can't hear a
Yes.
thing up here.
yeah,
Oh, be
it was in
glad.
our brain.
Be glad.
And now they know about the nanotech, and we should go.
Quickly.
Well,
Astrogate us out of here.
To 70 Opiuchi?
Oh my god, it's an 8.
8, 9,
Yes, to 70 Obiuchi.
Yep.
70
you need a
Opiuchi
7, so
is
you're good.
the
Yep.
thing to say. 70 Opiuchi every time of day.
I do not understand this reference.
So yeah, peace out.
Menakilikamaka is the thing to say. You never heard that song
For
before?
Hawaiian Christmas Day. Yeah, it's a thing. Mostly for
Don
from
Ho.
Disneyland.
Melakalikimaka is the thing to...
I just sang it. Like
She,
you're singing
she
it.
literally just did that.
You
You're
don't-
man singing. Stop it, Stork.
I'm trying to do my best Don Ho.
To be fair, his voice is closer to the range, so maybe that would make it more familiar.
Nope. Nope.
All right.
Also, she just did the thing.
That's fine. All right, so we get out of there. All right. Woo.
Okay. So you're on your way. What do you want to do for the next week?
Well, now that we already have it, yeah, I guess I'll be turrets still.
And I get another level of Amerikish.
I'm up at 4. So, I I have a couple of questions. Something about this ship was blocking those transmissions because nobody, not even me, who was pretty dense.
After you start talking amongst the rest of the crew and no one else heard it.
Nobody else heard anything, so something about the ship was blocking their transmissions.
Are you sure you're not psionic?
Could be.
Well,
Second of all,
would it make sense that everyone on the ship was psionic but us, or that the ship may have had something to do with it?
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if the ship is either block psionics.
That's in character.
Maybe we just got close to you so that you were able to block it all for us.
Okay, I'm not trying to be funny here. There's something here that was blocking their actual
Take this
psionics.
very seriously. No, yes, you're right. There's something.
And on top of that, these things might actually have a cultural awareness of what the nanotech is, because they're both created from ancient stock.
No, they didn't.
Nope, they didn't.
No.
But now they do.
They do now. So we should hope that they don't find it.
You know, they're super excited about killing all their enemies.
And not caring about themselves.
Okay. Well, we should probably let the wolf know that this is now a thing, too.
You can do that one on your own.
Yeah, no, I don't think. They don't. They
Look, this was your idea to stop and talk to this guy. Now you don't want to have anything to do with it?
No, I just don't want to have anything to do with talking to the wolf about nanotech.
We
and how,
saved the guy.
Yeah.
That was our goal.
Okay, I'll be in my bunk.
Surprised you hadn't moved your distillery over.
I think he did. I think he said last week he did move the distillery.
Yes.
I think he did. I
Yep.
think he said that.
Yep.
Well, you kept saying how there's not anything else for you to do. Sorry, everyone.
I'd already got my brewing up to, I think, to 0 or maybe 1, because I'd already mastered that, so... Now I've just been brewing alcohol. Anyway, okay. So now we're back at, or now we're continuing on with the primary mission, which is to go to the...
Right.
If they ever figure out how to make that lab ship jump, they're going to be within one jump of this Hulk with the nanotech.
I mean, assuming that they suddenly understand astrogation, they could go in a lot of places. But, like, that ship has a jump of 1,
Yes. Yeah.
and we have a jump of 3.
So them tracking us would be difficult, right?
Once we're in jump space, they,
All right.
Difficult as being generous.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, if you were going at jump 1, there might be an outside chance they may be able to sort of extrapolate what direction you went, maybe. But jump 3, no way.
We're good. Let's go.
All right. Nothing else during the week? Everyone's got everything done?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think we should warn them about them knowing about the nanotech, but we should inform someone, maybe send off a note, not to the wolf necessarily, but to someone about them being sentient.
I mean, it feels like a good plan to, like, I'll give it as part of my download to Dr. Ramachandran.
Nice.
yeah, I don't think we can ignore a full ship full of sentient, bloodthirsty aliens that may or may not actually be invading Ustah space at any time soon. We should probably let some people know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that whole, protect humanity thing you were touting at me an hour or so ago?
I mean, we did protect humanity.
Yeah, I know, and now we would be remiss in our duty if we didn't let other people know that this might be a possibility of an invasion.
I doubt it's an invasion as much as it is a...
Rebellion.
Yes.
They're freedom fighters, perhaps.
Perhaps. And perhaps it's just... We need to expand our knowledge to a new sentient life form entering the playing field.
Here's the rub.
Either way, yes.
They could empty that whole planet full of their things, put them all on that ship, and they have a giant invasion force of super intelligent space monkeys that can go anywhere. I think people might want to know that.
I mean, it is like, it's a science vessel, A.
You're right. Let's ignore it. And then when
I'm
people...
not saying we're ignoring. I am saying I'm going to put it in my...
Is this conversation happening before you go into jump?
No.
Or
No,
during
it's
jump?
while we're
During
Wow.
jump. During jump.
This is our week of arguing
Okay.
between
argument phase.
between.
It's like it's our
Decisive
intermission
action.
of arguing.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just to say that I have already said I'm putting it in my report to Dr. Ramachandran.
Okay.
But also that I feel like you might be exaggerating the danger that they pose in a science vessel. We have turrets.
Right.
They have probes.
They're totally unarmed ship that you could build.
They have sensors.
And they have an
now.
army of vac-suited monkeys.
And an army of vac-suited lurkers who
Aren't afraid to die.
have reasonability. They have reasoning.
Okay, yeah. I see that as a big problem, but that's fine. It's not our concern.
Right, well, it's
'Cause
not-
we certainly can't do anything about it.
It's not our call,
No,
exactly.
it
Not
isn't.
your farm, not your pig.
Nope.
So the best we can do is inform people of the information we have, minus telling them about the nanobots, and then let's people whose purview it is to make contact with new sentient beings to handle that.
So who are you sending
Whoever
to?
makes it first contact makes first
Was it Dr.
Ramachandran
Who is that? I don't remember who that is.
is my first contact who is on 70 Butte.
Oh, okay. So as soon as you come into the system, you'll immediately send an email off.
Do my dead drop.
Oh, okay.
This also feels like information that not everyone should have,
Okay.
and since I know that Majestic 33 is in this system and monitoring communications,
Got it. Okay.
looking for psionic things.
So
This
when
is
you-
like the biggest psionic thing that ever has been.
Yes. So when you guys come into system, you're going to come in distant again and use your ship's boat to go in? Okay. Where are you leaving your ship?
Would it be possible to leave our ship in stealth, or we eject on the boat and the ship goes into stealth right after?
Yes.
We just can't remember where we parked it. We don't want this to end up like the invisible car and
Well, you can. They can raise the periscope,
yeah.
so you can say
Mega Man,
Marco.
remember he parked the invisible car and couldn't find it?
Right. Okay. So you guys are coming down to planet, making planet fall, and they're space stations. And as you start to approach, you notice that there are a couple of gunboats.
Oh. There are a couple of what boats?
Gunboats.
Oh, I thought that might have been what you said.
And they seem to be in sort of like a patrol vector. Like they're sort of equidistant and like moving around in patterns to basically kind of cover
A lot of ground.
a lot
A
of ground.
screen.
And you are hailed as you're approaching.
Son of a bitch.
Yes.
Joey answers. Very charismatically.
See if he'll answer his phone on stage.
We should check to see if he's
Gonna
texted it.
slack him right now.
I've done it. I've done it at fair. But
Yeah, it's a little
there's also
different.
12 of us.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And they tell you that Planetfall is currently interdicted. You may dock with the nearest station, and when the next planetary shuttle goes down, after appropriate security measures, you'll be able to make Planetfall.
Under what statute is planetfall restricted?
We are trying to put down civil disorder.
Governmental or scientific? Or natural?
Civil disorder.
Civil.
Do you know what your students did after you were gone?
Damn it, she figured it out.
We've been keeping super close tabs on them since we've been a bit busy.
Damn it, keeping in tabs with me.
No.
That's probably for the best at this point.
Right.
I recommend continuing that course of action.
All right. Why? Kimmy's figured it out, but
Yes.
Riley isn't.
But Riley,
Yeah.
if I had to guess, I would say that you may have converted a few of those co-eds to your cause
Right.
the night that Joey and I went out for some fun.
Right. No, I talked to them about the truth of the artifact, and yes.
Exactly.
Right.
This planet is putting down an act of civil disobedience.
I still don't understand.
That it might be that your flunkies,
Believers.
flunkies, went off a little half-cocked upon not hearing from any further direction from you.
Oh, but they don't have any artifact or anything, so what would they be doing?
Who knows?
All right. Well,
And it's best that we just maybe keep those ties cut.
right. All right, then. I will not contact them at all.
Exactly like you've been doing.
Right.
Great. Okay. So we dock
Okay.
at a station.
Yes.
So I can do my drop
Yes.
to Ramachandran.
Right.
And are we also looking for?
Your mic's off.
Are we also looking for a doctor here?
Why?
Wasn't there somebody we were trying to meet?
I mean, that's Doctor's already a Ramachandran.
Oh, you're
Oh,
talking
that
about-
was wrong. Oh,
You're
okay.
talking about
Oh, you're
NBC.
talking about in BC.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's part of my drop to Ramachandran.
Right.
Is that, like, we are looking for
Dr. Misa.
Cable.
Yeah.
Cable in BC.
Yes.
Which makes me wonder if he's infected with nanotech just because of that X-Men reference.
Good. Yeah.
Just
right.
asking.
Just saying.
But,
I don't know X-Men.
oh, then you picked a really great name for
Oh,
this.
good, okay.
FYI.
Nice reference.
But, so, in any case, I'm going to drop and I'm going to say, hey, some months ago, this is the person that we were looking for. Do you have any information that you can
Okay.
give us about the time that he was here, where he may have gone?
Okay. Now, are you going down by yourself?
I'm going to dead drop the info.
Right. But you have to, that's a physical dead drop.
Yes, it is like going down to a park, and I am going to go by myself
Okay.
because that's the easiest way to sneak into anywhere,
Okay.
is alone.
Got it. All right. You leave the dead drop, and you probably put yourself up in a hotel because usually it was a day or something for her to.
Yeah, I mean, it takes some time.
Right.
I would assume that, like, actually she only checks it once a week,
Okay. All right.
and I pick the day, either day before she checks it, or... So there may be a few days here or there, but, like, I pick either the day before she checks it or the day of the check.
Okay. All right. And what do you have a set day when you would go check it for a response?
I would say I would normally check it 2 days after.
Okay. All right.
Like, gives her time to actually do stuff,
Right.
but I don't have an infinite amount of time to wait for a response.
Got it. So 2 days later, let's say, you get the response. The first part was basically just telling her about the lurkers and that stuff. Her response with regards to that is, we should probably let some sort of authorities know that this is happening, because from what you're describing, this sounds awfully dangerous.
Why do you think I told you is the first part of my response to back to them.
Okay. And then regarding Cable Mbisi, she says he was here. He visited a few people at the university while he was on planet side. He has since departed. And she gives you the name of a ship. You find it. Shit. He's aboard the Ustas. This is a naval science vessel, the Crick. C-R-I-C-K.
Thank you.
Can you grab me one?
Could I get another Diet Coke? Thank you. appreciate you. Great. How long ago did he depart? Does she say in her message?
Yeah, she tells you that the ship, she was aboard it's a naval science vessel, the Crick. It departed about a month ago.
Approximately 1 month
For where?
ago. And she gives no information on where he planned to go from there.
No. Well, its listed destination was Egan 372. What happened?
Egan 372.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's right.
And who did she say who he met with while he was on planet?
He met with some people, mostly involved in engineering.
I think so. Let me double check.
What?
Egan 372 is the next one jump away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's right here.
Yeah.
I spelled that wrong, but whatever. No one knows. So, met with engineering people?
Yeah. Primarily with engineers.
Any names?
Yeah. This is going to obviously now take longer. She didn't give you any names.
Okay, didn't give me any names. And that's a fine answer.
Right,
I'm
okay.
just going to craft my response back.
Okay.
The first part of which is, why do you think I told you about the liquors?
Right.
And I'll need some names, if you can get them, of people he met with here.
I bet you I already got some. Don't I?
For a guy who says he doesn't like to plan, you've done a lot of planning.
No, well, you've been here before.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this is the easy, but
Yeah.
quote-unquote easy part, I suppose.
Well, and he likes planning. He just wasn't able to plan because we were dicks and didn't tell him where we were going.
Primarily, Dr.
I mean,
Edwin.
it's not so much dicks as we couldn't decide where we were going.
Dr. Edwin Connors.
Isn't he the lizard?
Huh?
Dr. Connors, isn't he the lizard from Spider-Man?
I don't know. I don't know comic books.
And
And you know who that
I
is.
went with Terminator.
Oh, yeah.
Stella
That's
Connors.
Edward, I think. But either way, Ed.
Ed Connors.
I don't know. Were you with them when they met with the engineers that were helping with the Jump 3 drive or the Jump 2 drive?
Let's say yes.
Okay, that was one of the engineers.
Okay. But this is somebody who you have a good relationship with.
If he remembers it.
I mean, he was drunk as
Yes.
a skunk. But if I recall correctly, that session you formed a connection with those engineers.
Yeah, there are a couple of them.
Am I remembering correctly?
Yes.
Oh, good.
And that was who he primarily met with.
Awesome. O'Reilly. Do you remember your friend, Dr. Edwin Connors?
Oh, yeah, he's the one who couldn't hold his liquor very well. With the great technology, right?
Yes. I need you to renew your acquaintance.
All right.
He had some intense discussions with Dr. Mbisi.
Oh.
And I would love to know what they talked about and what Dr. Mbisi was planning.
All right.
If you can find it out, obviously, but you have the best chance of succeeding.
Sure.
I feel.
And we know Dr. Connors is still on planet.
Dr. Connors is here, employed by the university's usual.
Yes.
And So I throw a panicked glance to Stu. But NBC is left. But NBC is gone.
Of course, yeah.
And we have his official declared destination, but we don't have his actual destination.
Is your switch off?
I turned it off in order to stop rubbing up against it with my microphone.
Okay, because they're not hearing. They're not going to hear you real well.
And now it's back on though, but it's back on because I started talking again.
Okay. Good. I'm getting signal.
There.
Did you just tap it?
She turned it off and tapped it. And then
All right. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, the little fuzzy thing had come undone.
Oh, okay.
it's all good.
But in any case, my point is, Dr. and BC met with Connors. I think that whatever they talked about is going to be the clue to his location, rather than the official documentation about where his ship went, which I feel like might be a lie.
Very likely. All right, well, let's find him.
Thank you.
Your mic is dead.
Dead?
It's dead. Hold on a second. See, I was hearing that clicking, and I think it was the...
Whoa.
It's this one over here.
Oh, yes.
That one's not on. That one's... Well, you might be able to hear it, but I can't.
Yeah.
Let me just check it real quick.
Whoa.
You hearing this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's a...
It's right there at the connection. That's making a big noise.
Well, it's muted. 3, right?
Okay. No.
3, yeah. There you go.
All right. Well,
Let me know, just be Let me switch this out real quick.
yeah. So I'm going to go find Dr. Carter and find out where Dr. MBC went, and maybe if Dr. Carter knows anything about the alien technology at all.
So, do you actually have a tour d'affaire with him? Is this one of those one-night stands? Didn't you two go out? Okay, so this is somebody else. All right.
No, I don't think I had any. I haven't had any affairs. I got him drunk and convinced him to teach me about the drive.
Oh, okay. There was a time when you two went out and I thought met up with people. Hooked up, didn't you? Am I thinking of another game?
I don't think hooked up,
Okay.
but maybe, I don't know. But also, it was during our last trip here that I got the students involved in the alien technology.
Right, okay.
But I think I just got him drunk and then had my way with his technology. So, sorry, I stole that from James V in the chat room. But
That's fine. We give the listeners and some backstory while we're swapping out the mic.
yeah, so that'll still kind of be on the same kind of plane of what it was. It's not like he's a jilted ex or something that's going to be like, why did you leave system without talking to me?
Uh-oh.
It's now more broken.
No, it's not. It's less broken.
It's all good. So yeah, I guess the first thing we need to do is track that down. Track Dr. Connors down. Did we get more information about what's exactly happening on the planet's surface?
Stu?
Try it.
1 second.
Unmuted.
I'm unmuted.
There we go.
Boom.
Wow.
There you go. Look at that.
So one of the first things before we go find Dr. Connors is I'm going to try and find out what's happening on the planet's surface.
Okay. Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably on the news broadcast or whatever. You're in a bar, it's probably on screens everywhere. I would assume.
These children in Caliban have a new faction.
Oh, so good.
It's that mic is a lot louder than the other ones. That's
Yeah.
wild. There's some sort of movement called the Rileyan Separatists that started actually at the university where you're near. And you probably, as soon as you got there, probably saw all kinds of stuff.
What are they? We say their name again?
Rileyan Separatists.
Oh, good.
Maybe choose a pseudonym while you're out there.
And it's spread to other universities. And
Like on other universities on planet or
on
other
the planet.
universities in system?
this is a. There's not a lot of other settlements. I don't think. Let me look at them now.
So wait.
I don't remember.
This
Let me-
is important.
Let
What
me
is
open
my
the-
follower stat now?
Your followers. What the stat? I don't remember. The stat represents a certain number of people
I don't
per
know what
level,
those are.
right?
Yeah.
Let me look real quick.
Let me get this straight. The spaceship full of killer giant monkeys with that are sentient intelligence is not nearly as important as your followers.
Not to her.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Well, especially if we're on the planet with my followers and we're looking for contacts. That's important.
Relevant information.
The Riley
Clearly.
separatists. I did it. I became a cult leader. I'm very excited. Aha, Samantha. It's fine.
Through no effort of your own.
There was a lot of effort at the beginning because I tried a couple times and failed, and I finally got some kids drunk and got them to believe me.
You finally got some people drunk enough to believe.
Yes.
And then they stayed believed
Yes.
and converted others.
And converted others, right? That's why you always want to pick your first cults, like disciples, like very carefully, because it's their job to continue the growth. Because it has to be like this exponential thing. Like you convert 4 people, each of them convert 4 people. It's like
We at
a
Happy Jacks do
pyramid
not
scheme.
It's a Ponzi scheme.
It's a Ponzi
Do not
scheme.
condone the conversion and the making of cults.
We're just really good at it.
If
If we were, our viewership would be way up.
I am an
Also
ordained
true.
minister in the Universal Life Church.
Yeah.
I've performed 1 marriage, and it lasted 3 months.
Congratulations.
They didn't
3
get
months. Oh yeah, they got divorced. Okay, I found the section where I'm going to find the book. Now I found the book.
Okay.
Now let me find the chapter.
Okay.
This is critically important
And
stuff,
verse.
right?
Well,
New shit has come to light.
Well, it's important because if I have to roll, like to talk to them or something. Damn, sorry.
That's you.
Then yeah, that's me. Sorry. If I have to roll, like I want to make sure my stat is right because if it affects like how we move around on the planet, if there's riots going on or something, or if one of my followers knows information about Cable NBC. Why is Cable NBC here? Why was he here before?
That's why you're talking to Connors.
I know, but so nobody. We don't know that. Okay, got it.
I know
Your
it's-
mission, if you choose to accept it.
Yeah, I
So
just
find
know-
out the answer to that question.
Yeah, we don't know whether he was here last time we were here, right?
He, as far as we know, wasn't here the last time we were here. He left a month ago.
So he came after the Rylean separatists came to power, possibly because he was interested in the truth that they know. Pooja's face is amazing. It's like sour lemon. Like if you bite into a lemon, that's kind of what her face looks like. But that is now completely Riley's theory about Dr. MBC and his appearance on this planet. My followers stumbled
Just going to
upon the
attach a
truth.
recording device to you. I am. I'm attaching a recording device to you
That you
That
hear more of
hooks
the
up-
truth.
that hooks up to my neural comms so that I can hear what's going on.
That's fine. Very, very exciting.
Okay.
Don't say.
Now I need to find one other thing, and then I will be able to tell you what your follower number is.
Okay.
What social skill is that, by the way?
It's its own.
It's its own. It's actually a new stat.
yeah, that I
Is
have.
this a spare?
So that's why, because it will affect rolls if I'm like, hey, like, Ryleans, I'm Riley. It's like, no, you're not. No.
Is this a homebrew thing, or is this in the...
It's in the
No, it's in-
companion.
yeah.
Okay.
It's in the Truther companion.
Oh,
book.
right, okay.
So,
So for those of you looking at home, frantically going through the book, it ain't there.
yeah, it's in the
It's in the
extra
truther section.
periodicals. Yeah.
And the
The
truther
splat
section
books.
is out there.
Oh.
Don't hit me. Don't hit me. Don't hit me.
Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 boo.
That's so terrible. We're not going to get picked up on that.
That's why I do it that way.
Yeah.
Their algorithm cannot tell that that's the melody. I wonder if you could just change the key. And you're good
No, probably it still recognizes that.
I'm having trouble finding that frickin' table.
Can we just make up a number to move on, and then you could come back and fix it later?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's possible.
Okay, yes, we can do that. I'm going to say that your following currently is probably at level 3.
Okay, so I have a 3.
I think.
Ooh, that seems high.
I think.
Congratulations. You have picked the right people to brainwash other people.
So that's like, enough people to start a
Somewhere between
rebellion.
woo and
It's thousand. If it works the way everything else works in Traveler, it's thousands of people.
Ah, yeah.
See? That's a lot of people.
Look what I did. All right.
Look what you're way into the two enthusiastic college students did.
Yep. I think it was 4 to start with.
No, I'm sorry, TOO. Enthusiastic.
I got it. Overly, yes. Very exciting. All right. I have an army. I'm Riley. I am Legion. All right. All right. So then, yeah, I guess our first course of action. You never actually told me what was happening on the planet.
Oh, basically,
You got distracted.
There's a bunch of students at various universities who have been rioting, wanting to create a separate state on the planet.
Based on the artifacts?
You don't see a lot of mention of the artifact.
Oh, okay.
Is there any mention of the one pamphlet that you left them?
Yeah. Okay.
It seems to be a political movement.
We have to fix this.
It's a shame when your cult gets subverted for other people's purposes.
Right. I mean, fine, but no. All right. Then, yeah, I guess the first thing will be tracking down Dr. Connors.
Okay. He's easy to find. He's at the same university that you're near, because your dead drop is probably within a couple miles.
Okay.
So not a problem. You find he has an office, and you probably remember where it is.
Okay.
Come.
What was his first name?
Ed.
Edwin.
Edwin. Okay. Edwin.
Oh yeah, there's his. Oh,
Riley O'Connor. Yes.
Right.
Yes. How have you been?
Well, busy.
Great.
Busy. Difficult getting on campus sometimes.
Really? Oh. Well, that's a shame. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, like, what is this? Is this students from just this campus? I was kind of catching some of the information about it.
Oh, no, it's becoming more widespread. It's at about 5 or 6 universities now. Started here.
Right, it started here. Oh. Have they been violent, or what do they want to...
Oh, there have been a lot of broken windows. There have been a few Molotov cocktails. Defacing of some statues, things like that. There was a sit-in. A group of them epoxied themselves to the administration building. That was a mess.
Joey and I did that when we were freshmen.
For those who didn't hear the whisper, she said that Joey and she did that when they were freshmen.
Yeah.
Epoxied yourself to the science building. That would make Joey an epoxy boggart.
Heyo!
Wow. Well, at least...
You're going to totally forget to ask him about MBC, aren't you?
No. No. I'm warming up the conversation.
So here's what I found out. I have this many followers and this many universities. They've thrown Molotov cocktails.
She's excited about that part. Gee, have they made their desires clear? Like, they seem to be political in nature?
They want some kind of... I think they want some kind of... I don't know. They want their own, like, country or something. I don't know where exactly they think they're going to put it.
Who do they want to be their leader?
No idea. Maybe the crackpot who started it.
Oh, yeah. Strange. All right, well, I was hoping you might be able to help me, and I'm happy to buy you a drink again if you feel it. It sounds like you could use it here.
Oh, no worries.
You're just out
Clink,
of the
clink.
bottle.
Out of his bottom drawer.
Excellent, very good. I'm looking for Dr. Cable MBC.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You're not going to find him here.
No, yeah, we heard that he left recently.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty important. I'm just working security for this ship, but it's pretty important. One of the scientists wants to get hold of him, thinks it's pretty important about some discovery. I don't know. I just shoot things and run the engine. But for some reason, they think that wherever Dr. MBC said he was going isn't where he's really going. And we were hoping that you might know better.
Oh, I can't really talk about that.
Even if it's really vital to his research.
We would lose some of our security contacts or contracts if that came out.
Oh, well, Sasha.
Glug. Oh,
Thank you.
This is going to be like a scene from Raiders. What is this? This is my family vineyard.
Yeah. Well, if someone were to, if we were going to send a message to him, or something, I feel like it's going to save months of his time. I got the feeling. I feel like that's sort of an important thing with researchers, right? I'm not a doctor, but
not really allowed. You want to fast forward to where you make your
roll.
What would that be?
Persuade?
Is there
The
persuasion?
subtitle here is 4 drinks later.
4.
17 drinks later.
persuasion. I think
Second
is what I wrote last. Is what I
2
did
bottles
last time.
later.
Persuade.
Persuade. That would be a good skill.
Okay.
It is a skill.
I rolled a 3, so 4, 5. Can we drink more and try again?
Can I assist through comms?
You can like chatter through her comms to make it seem more legit, maybe.
Yeah.
So you go get through halfway through the second bottle, and you may go ahead and assist. How do you? I don't remember. Do you just get a +1? I don't remember how that works.
It was. I think we was either you get a +1 or you could do the boon thing, which is she rolls 3 dice and picks.
Oh.
Oh, so you're
the
assisting.
two
So
best.
you're basically chatter, and you have the volume turned up on your comms, so you're just hearing, and you're saying all kinds of BS. That's
No, you're re-rolling again, right?
you roll again, and you're gonna
Oh.
roll it. You're gonna roll 3 dice
3
now,
dice,
and
okay,
take
got it. Okay.
the highest 2.
Okay.
Oh, it's a 6.
It's a 6, so 7, 8.
Oh, okay, that's enough. He tells you that.
Thank goodness one of your dice was
I
cooperating.
know. I got 2 1s and a 5.
What are you doing? Don't do that.
Luckily, I'm very persuasive. I have a 2.
He tells you that what would be on your map as
The kids are back.
parsec 0904 or hex 0904. Aren't there numbers on them? There's numbers on every hex.
I don't know. It's his map. He's in charge of it.
09, so 9th column.
Got it.
Oh, is that how it
4 down.
works?
Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 0, 9, 0, 4. So it's just above them. So it's one.
It's an empty space.
Yes. So we're here. Where we want to go, where NBC said he was going was here, but where he really went was there.
Got it.
I just
Real
wrote in real
NBC.
NBC.
So there must be something there, because what we show is empty space.
Right. Not even a star. Not even dust.
And where was that derelict nanotech ship?
We had no idea.
They had no idea. They knew it was near. It was near Usta's space.
Well, look at that. It's right near Usta's space. It's literally the next hex over. Son of a bitch. Okay.
Well, lots of hexes are near Ustas space.
Yeah, but most of them don't have alien scientist explorer people there. Right. So yeah, and then I will continue to, and then end the conversation genially.
Okay.
And take my leave
Okay.
as best I can.
All right. Yeah. Well, you're pretty sloshed by the time you
Oh
leave.
yeah, no, I
You probably should have
Great.
sent Stork's character.
Yeah, but I'm not so good with talking.
yeah, and he doesn't know this person.
That's true.
My education's at a -1 DM, and my intellect is at a 0.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can drink. Although I don't think I have carouse. No, I don't have carouse.
I mean, it's not so much that she needed to stay sober.
That's true.
We just needed the information.
She's just sober enough to remember why she was there.
Right.
She doesn't even have to
Yeah,
do that
she
because
was
I
listening.
have the device on her and I'm
Oh, that's
listening.
right.
There were contingencies in place.
Just in case.
So I'm going to very slowly start making my way back
Okay.
to where they are.
Holding onto the wall.
Yeah. All right, it's fine.
You can like remotely call her a space Uber or something if you want to.
The space wonder. She doesn't. Let's refund for myself. All right.
The more sober you are when you get back, the more likely you are to vomit someone else.
Yes.
All right, so you're going along, and you see some protesters out in front of a building, and then one of them looks at you and goes,
Oh no.
and we'll end it there.
Okay.
This is what I was hoping.
Be careful what you wish for.
Oh god, I'm gonna vomit at my followers the first time I meet them. All
Maybe,
right.
only maybe. Now, is Joe going to be back in 2 weeks?
Yes,
Okay,
Joey will be back
all right.
next time. His show, it closes today, actually. It's his last performance today.
Okay,
So he'll be back next time.
Yeah.
No more missing our amazing face.
all right.
And yeah, we'll be back with this game in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Very exciting. We'll be back next Sunday with Call of Cthulhu. And
Murmurs at the
our,
Abyss.
Yes, Murmurs at the Abyss. And our new campaign, Shadowrun, starts tomorrow. So they're not doing the new 5th edition? 6th edition, I think. I don't know. Whatever the new edition is, they're not doing
It's
that one.
old.
They're doing... No. They're doing the last. I think they're doing 5th edition. So they're not doing the new 6th edition. No, it's not. I promise.
I have the 20th anniversary or 25th anniversary or something. I have one.
That's years, not editions.
I know, but that's what it was called.
6th edition came out at Gen Con this weekend.
Oh, it did.
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right.
So
I'm
they're
right.
not
But they're
doing
not
the
doing- they're
brand
doing sixth?
spanking
They're
new
doing
one.
5th edition.
Well, I wonder which edition mine is then, because I'm sure it's got a number.
Who all
But it's
in
called the
that one?
20th or 25th.
So Jason's running that one, and it has Jay, Samantha, Mac, and Candace, who you've seen on our one-shot streams during the summer. So she's been our daytime game when we're bored and want to play games. She's amazing, and that they're doing character creation for that. They actually might have done character creation already, so I don't know if they're starting with 00 or 01 tomorrow, but that'd be
Either
good.
way,
they-
that sounds like an
oh, they-
amazing group of people.
It's going to be very fun. It's going to be very cool. So check out happyjacks.org/schedule. And yeah. Anyone else have anything else? No?
We'll see you at the end of the month at
For another one.
Strategic
Gateway
Con.
Con.
Yeah, Gateway. Go sign up for Gateway. We're going to be running a bunch of games there.
Yes.
Doing all the things. And yeah, it's at the end of the month. That's very
Yeah.
soon.
I have to clean that box out and cull it down to
You do.
make it liftable.
We do.
It's
all right.
my very first con. Y'all be kind to me.
It's going to be so good. All right. We'll see you guys there. And
Yeah, don't do that weird thing. No.
Bye.
bye.
Bye. Where's the thing? There it is.
The preceding program has been a presentation of the Angry Folk Media Empire.
Bum, 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 bum.